All right, we ready.
What? Because I made having no ass popular. For real.
Miss Duncan, you ready? You ready, Miss Duncan?
I am.
We ready, Miss Duncan?
I made having no ass popular because bitches was going to Miami. They was getting surgery. They was paying $7,000 a surgery. For what?
What's the topic of the night?
When having no ass could just be like pound cake. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I'm talking
Who said that?
Hey, we've been trying to start the show for 45 minutes. What you gonna let us talk? Oh, man.
Hey, boo. You said Jay Taylor from Wildwood? Jamie! Oh! Hey, boo! Hey, boo! Yeah.
We ain't giving shout outs. We ain't doing none of that.
He gave me a shout out. I gave him a shout back.
All right, we're gonna get started.
Okay, we can get started.
The reason we're here tonight is black, what do we call it? Black on black crime. We want to know the difference between black on black crime, white on black crime.
Difference in punishment.
Discipline and the punishment.
Black on black crime is not a thing. Just FYI. You start this shit off right.
You're gonna let me do the introduction.
Go ahead. My bad. But that's a myth. Just a FYI. Because if you're gonna give me the numbers on black crime, then where's the fucking numbers on Native American crime and white on white crime?
I'm gonna turn the camera.
How the hell is the only demographic that's being tracked is black on black? That's how I know it's a propaganda from the start. How the hell you gonna only tell me that the only people that commit crimes is black people? Come on now. If that's the case, there will be no white people in prison. Why y'all in prison for? If that's the case, if y'all perfect and the only people that commit crimes is black people, excuse me, and we're just these criminals and y'all just these perfect race, then why is y'all in prison? There should be no Anglo-Saxons in prison at all. If that's the case, there should be no opportunity for the Klansmen to form a mob in prison. Because we know anybody that's ever been in prison, and you know anybody in prison, we know that the KKK exists in prison. That's where they're the largest is in prison. So if y'all are this perfect race, then why the hell y'all in prison? But that's all I got to say about that. Let's move on.
That's your introduction.
Yeah, and I'm me, and that's that.
Who are you? Introduce yourself.
Okay, so my name is Nikita Duncan, and my Facebook is the same, and my Instagram is the same. I don't have a Twitter because I deleted it years ago because the shit was taking over my life. And I have my friends here who I went to high school with, so I want y'all to be very clear on this. I can disagree with somebody in principle, right? But that doesn't mean that I don't love them or that I don't, have love for them. It's simply that we disagree in principle. And the reason why we're here today is because myself and a very close high school friend of mine disagree with someone in principle. Someone we also went to high school with. It doesn't mean that we don't love him. So I don't want to turn this into a show where it's like us against him, because that's not the case. We love him. We just don't agree with him fundamentally. And that's all that is about that.
All right. Mr. Bobs. I'm turning the camera the wrong way. I must had a long day. Go ahead, bro.
Well, it's Bob. Some know me as Bob. Diego Manuel on Facebook. Instagram, the same thing. DEIGO. Small business owner. Just an average guy. We just want to come here to speak, like my friend Nikita said, to my other, I would say younger friend, but he's not that much younger. But we just want to build a dialogue and show people that we as black people, we can converse without, let's say, being so hateful. So I want to kick it over to Rashad.
Rashad Cummins, the reason we're having this podcast, 2 or 3 nights ago, you made a post. I don't have the exact post. I did save it, but I don't feel the need to read it. But you basically made some comments about black on black crime and how blacks should hold each other accountable just as well as they want to hold whites accountable for the crimes on blacks. So we kind of want to get into that, get your feelings on that, and then we'll go and let everybody have the time to talk about it. So
She can go first.
She already went. I think she already went.
I can go first, but I would have preferred had he gone first, so it would seem like less of an attack and more of a response. But I'll go first. So essentially, what his post boiled down to was, and like I said, I would prefer you had gone first, so that it would seem like I'm less quoting you and more like responding to you. But to respond to his post was more of a, and like I said, feel free to interject because I don't remember it word for word. I just remember it saying something to the narrative of black people can't be upset with white people when white people kill us, when black people are killing us every day. And like I said, it's a loose quote that wasn't verbatim. But the reason why I took exception to the post is because I'm a person, a black female that believes in the shit that that Malcolm was talking about. You understand? And so I believe that Martin Luther King was wrong. I wholeheartedly believe in the shit that Malcolm was talking about. You understand? And so to loosely quote him in saying that the only way that we can turn illness into wellness, right, is to take the I out and replace it with we. And that's the only point I was trying to make to you the other day when you and I spoke. And even after his dialogue, when he had on Facebook and he inboxed me, he and I had a private conversation. And I said the same thing to him then. We cannot get to a point where we are healing or we are progressing as people until you stop seeing them and they as them and start seeing them as we and I. So when you get to a point as a black man where you are making statements like them, they, them over there, you are essentially taking yourself away from the conversation. And if you truly see yourself as, well, this doesn't apply to me, that's them over there. No, nigga, that's you too. You know what I'm saying? And when you get to a point where it's like, if you genuinely believe that it only applies to they and them, then brother, whether you realize it or not, and I love him, so I don't want this to be a situation where it's the people that follow me are attacking him. That's not what this is about. But I genuinely want him to understand that it's you too. It's you as well. And when you are breeding with Anglo-Saxon women and you are creating mixed breed children, that's beautiful. I think there's nothing wrong with that. And I don't want this to be a situation where they say, well, who is against biracial children or mixed breed? No, that's not what that is. Because when an African-American man takes a mixed woman or a white woman and he makes children with her and he happens to breed with her simply because she's white or whatever, that's beautiful, lovely, great. Make 10 kids if you want to. But when a black man targets a woman simply because she's white or because she's mixed or because she's Anglo-Saxon or however the hell you label her, if he only targets her and intends to breed with her simply because she's mixed or she's white, if he only does that to breed with her, then that is reverse racism, and that is a problem. That's a problem. If you happen to fall in love with a woman who just so happens to be white, then that is true love. But if you are targeting a woman because she is white, then that is reverse racism, and that is a problem. That is a huge problem. So I said to my brother the other day, and he will tell you, I said in his inbox, I have no problem against your mixed children. I have no problem against whoever you decide to breed with. If you are just so happen to fall in love with a woman because, you just so happens to be mixed and you create mixed children, beautiful. His children are beautiful. If you ever seen pictures of them, who else could say anything different? They're lovely. But if you're telling me that you only bred with their mother because she is mixed or because she is white, then you, my brother, have a problem. And you need a hug. And that's a fact. So I said that then to say now, like, I don't have a problem with white people in general. I don't. A lot of my closest friends are white. They're not my closest friends because they are white. They are my closest friends and they just so happen to be white. And there's a huge difference. And I said the same thing to him. For a black man to get on a social media, a podcast, whatever it is, and to take a position that states that you black men need to stop doing this and they will stop shooting you, that's some bullshit. And it's a very dangerous position to have. As a black, hold on, I'm gonna let you interject. As a black man, it is a very dangerous position to have. Because whether you realize it or not, if you go back on his posts and you look at the comments that were left on his post, if you read the statements that were left by his white friends, you will see that all of his white friends, oh, that's right, Rashad, you tell them Negroes, because we've been trying to tell them for 400 years and they won't listen to us. So maybe you can be the leader of the niggers and you can lead them and tell them that they need to act right. Because if they act right, we'll stop killing them. No, our position is stop killing us because we're black. And if you as a white person, as a black person, as an Indian, whoever you are, if my only argument is don't kill us, we're black, and you respond with but, there's no but. How is there but? That's my only argument. Don't kill us because we're black. I'm not saying we're not committing crimes. It would be a fool of me. I am a college-educated woman. I understand that there are black people in this world that commit crimes, as well as there are white people that commit crimes. I understand that. My only position is do not kill us simply because we are black and we are committing crimes. And if that is your only reason why you are killing us, then my position as a black female is please stop. Do not kill us simply because we're black. And if you as an Anglo-Saxon or whomever are responding and saying, well, but, there's no but. And if you have a but, then you, my friend, are a racist. And that's all I got to say about that.
All right, Rashad, interject there. Yes, sir. Let me turn the camera around.
Right.
And I'm going to eat my chicken because I'm going to fit this narrative.
All right, so I'm going to get straight to the point. There was a lot of different things that were said that are not actually true. I actually took the post down, but I also screenshotted as well. The exact point of my post was, if we're going to protest, if we are going to broadcast and do things that are directed towards police brutality, or us wanting white people or Indian people, whoever it is, to stop killing black people or black men, black women, whoever it is, that is all well and good. But we also have to look at it as how can we effectively as well prevent us from killing each other. I think that it doesn't make any sense for us to say, okay, we don't want white people killing us, but we're going to kind of forget the fact that we killing each other. And when we have these meetings with people that makes decisions, like city councilmen, and we can even go to the president, or we can go to the mayor or the governor, those are things that we're going to have to address, because it really doesn't sound tactful for us to go into a meeting with people that are very educated and make silly comments about there is no such thing as black on black crime. Also, I don't think anywhere in my post, and I think anybody that has read my post, we never had a conversation on why I had children with a mixed woman or a white woman. That's not even a topic of this discussion. So I'm not even gonna go into that. Doesn't even make sense to me. I think that she actually is looking at one post instead of both of the posts. It actually started about Ahmaud Arbery. That was the first post. He had an altercation that happened in 2017, and I said that his reaction caused another chain reaction. I never stated that the police wasn't wrong that pulled him over. And I simply made the comment and I simply made the post because us as young black men and black women and Indian women, because it's not just happening to us. That would be silly to just say wrong only happened to black people. We want to be able to educate people on, you know what, is it more important to be right or alive? So you have to be in a situation when someone pulls you over, stop arguing why you pulled me over. I don't think you were right to pull me over. Simply give me your ID, comply, and learn to be smart enough to be able to combat and fight those things in the right setting. You're never gonna win an argument with a police arguing on the street. That's just not gonna happen. I don't think that's a very educated thing to do, and that's just me. My mother's black, my father's black. This is not a black or white thing. This is something that was for everybody to understand. Some of the ways that we can make sure some of our young men make it home to their families. Because arguing with a police officer is just one of those things. It's ignorant. If you feel what my sister just said, she feels that Anglo-Saxon or white people, I think you feel like they have privileges, right? Is that
Absolutely.
okay? So she feels that white people have privileges. If you know you're going into a situation and the weight is shifted their way, you got to make sure you have a tactful way of responding. If we have a problem with police brutality, if we have a problem with the sentences that our young black men and black women get, why don't we start empowering young black men to be a judge, to be a law enforcement officer, to be a lawyer? If we really want to attack the enemy in that way, if we feel like these are enemies to us, and we feel like the white man, these are other people's words, not mine, but I'm not even going to go into that. If we feel like the white man is boxing us in a position to where we're getting unfair judgment, then why don't some of us go to school to be lawyers and judges? Because I'm not going to say that's wrong. But I feel that my post was most importantly trying to make sure that my daughter's 6, my son is 10. I'm pretty sure everybody in here got children that are 8, 9, 10. Stop trying to prove a point and make sure that you make it home to your family. This is not something that we want to talk about, well, they wrong and they right, and this. It's not about that. It's about being intelligent and knowing that you are in a position to where you're going to lose. If you feel that you're going into, you're going to court and you know that you're going against a case that is well above your head, why are you going in there without a lawyer? That makes no sense. We see that all the time. So my comment was not attacking black people in any way. I love the skin that I'm in. I love white, black, anybody that know me. I love all kind of women. It don't matter to me. I like people that are smart, that can help elevate me and I elevate them. So I didn't pick my children and say, hey, I'm going to have a kid with a white woman. I'm going to have a kid with a tan woman. That wasn't the case. I made a connection with 2 different people and it made a beautiful reaction. So I hope that everybody knows that my heart was always in the right place. And another thing that I want to touch base on, especially now this is for young black men, be careful about some of the things that you allow to be recorded, or some of the things that you allow the public to see you do. As you can see, the Ahmaud Arbery case is going on, but the situation, and we call it the system, is going all the way back 3 years and actually recording an altercation that he had with a police officer. All I'm saying is be smart about the situation. If you know that we are already seen and pictured as an aggressive race, why are you going to get mad at the officer and tell him to leave me alone, and why you touching this? He's going to do what he want to do regardless. We've seen it happen time after time. So all I'm saying is educate ourselves on, number one, just make it home to your family. And if you feel like somebody did something wrong to you, make sure you take that up in court. Stop getting in these situations where we see people get shot for no reason. So we're going to help the situation and get mad and act out of order. I just don't think that it's a smart decision. And again, this is a black situation that we're talking about, but I can assure you that black people are not the only people that get killed. And that's all I have to say about it.
All right, I'm going to turn it around to Bob's. Let him speak his piece on this, and then we're going to go back around and have some dialogue.
I would say I come in with a little voice of reason, I would say. I understand where Rashad's coming from when he speaks on not making yourself a target, and I guess he would say, I hate to use the word, but you know, we would call it shooking and jiving. You know, it doesn't really matter how you present yourself if a police or somebody already has a preconceived notion of what you is. Now, when we say preconceived notion, we have to go all the way back to your first images of a black man, okay? And yours and white people too. So you know, Rashad, you come from a neighborhood, you live right down the street from you, so you already know you came from an environment where you seen more than one type of black person. You didn't just get to see the stereotypical black people that we see. Well, I shouldn't say that we see, that America sees if you're not actually in the ghetto or in a situation where you have more black people around you. So with that being said, when you get 9 times out of 10, your layman white person, they think you Lil Wayne, LeBron James, Future. You know what I mean? Somebody of that. Or you're going to be on the other side, the Tiger Woods, you know, the good guy. I've never been on that side. As you can see, you already know what side I come from. I have been a victim right here in Mount Dora, Florida. I have caught a case right here in Mount Dora, Florida, where the police put a gun on me, and they said they put the gun on me just because I didn't have a record before. Now, as Rashad said before, he said, well, just fight the case, you know, get a lawyer. It's not as simple as get a lawyer. This is people who just talking, and they never caught a case before. They don't understand. You have to have money to be the case. Okay? Most people don't have money. First, you got to bond out. First, before you even think about a lawyer. Then to even get a lawyer, what you gonna go pro bono or something? It's just not reasonable. Okay? The other thing with him saying black on black crime, just like my friend Kusei say, that's just code word. You've never heard of white on white crime? Because all violent crimes are crimes of proximity. Okay? When you have a violent crime, 9 times out of 10, you kill somebody who you have a relationship with. You know, unless, I hate to say it, unless you Caucasian and you go in and mass murder. Another, or I shouldn't even say Caucasian, we'll just say somebody who goes and does those shootings in public. I've never seen anyone of color do it, but hey, it's neither here nor there, you know? But you never hear them say white on white crime with that. You'll always hear black on black crime because that's code for them to try to single us out. And just like a brother like Rashad would say, well, if they're doing it, you can kill them. It's just like if somebody got raped and you said, oh, well, she dressed like a whore, so she deserved to get raped. And you hear people really say this when people get raped. People laugh, but it's women who get raped and people say, oh, she deserved it because she dressed a certain way. This is things that really happen. So we have to choose our words very, very, I should say carefully, especially when you are speaking on race and you are a black person who has such a, I should say, a voice with the white community. Because I do have a couple white friends, so I'm not racist like the other people say.
Yeah,
I
they
can't
love
be
to say
racist
that.
because I have my
I have two black friends, so I'm not
friends for
racist.
sure. Nick
They
Verdugo,
love to say
Melissa,
that.
what up?
Right,
You know what I mean?
right.
So I'm rocking, you know what I mean? But when you are a person and 9 times out of 10 you are the only black voice that they hear.
Yeah, they
you're
think
the one
that you
black
represent
person,
the
you're
community.
the dark spot in the
It's a fact.
room. You gotta understand what's going on. They looking at you to justify a lot of things.
Facts.
So what you do, that's gonna go into, that's what it is. Hey, that's what our Puka does. That's what our Rashad
And
does.
he
So it
and
must
he
be-
represents,
it must- he
and
represents
that's the
them.
only point I was trying to make to you.
Okay.
In
So
your
you
white
went
friend's
through-
mind, you represent the opinion
They
of
do, they
everybody.
do. That's why they
And
are.
that's
even when
all
you
I was
watch
trying to
TV
say.
shows and
Facts.
everything, it gotta be a token black guy.
Facts.
It got
Facts.
to. How the token black guy gonna look?
Facts.
Huh? Is he gonna be running the ball? He gonna be shooting? Huh? He ain't gonna be doing no poetry or nothing enlightening, right?
Right.
He gonna be doing the same thing. Why you think certain black people and certain white people attracted to certain black people?
Right.
It ain't no. I played football. Oh, he played football with me. He coached me. A reason why I didn't want to go into football in college was with the racism and the politics that go on with that. Now we just now seeing when they talk about Lamar Jackson and black quarterbacks and all
Right.
that. I went through
Facts.
all that. Okay,
Facts.
I went through all that. You know, so I don't speak off nothing that I haven't went through myself. Okay, I have got harassed by police, Hillsborough County, Lake County. I got a charge, if you look me up, Terrence Gale, Terrence Gayle. I beat it with a public defender. But it was only because I knew my rights. If I didn't know my rights, I would have been another person who would have signed for 2 years probation, like the public defender was telling me. So when people go and they talk about the system and they never been in the system, they don't know. Even when people say go vote, if you not listen, black people, all this talking about going vote, if you yourself are not donating a substantial amount of money to this country, to this campaign, to this politician, he's not working for you. Okay? All right? That's what I want y'all to understand. When you see these people walk around, they want you to sign and say we need 1,000 signatures. Read it. When the lady came to me, she said it can have 1,000 signatures or she can have $1,400 is some amount of money. You got to understand this money, black people. Like how we right here and we in the spot and we creating black business and black empowerment, that's how we gonna come up. We not gonna come up going and voting and all that. No, it's the 20s. We got to go back like the 1920s Renaissance. You know what I mean? And create black business and keep it like that. My counterparts, they turn.
All right. We have Mr. Keena Nix that wants to speak and have make a statement.
Hello. I had no intention on getting on this podcast. Excuse my appearance. It's just that I was sitting aside hearing some things I agreed with, some things I disagreed with. And one of the things I heard Rashad saying was, about our young black men, what we have to teach them. And as a single mom of 4 black young men, I experienced something recently with my 18-year-old who I have brought up as a Christian young man who is a B student, who has several football offers, who is headed to school, who was on his way walking to his grandfather's house here in East Town of Mount Dora. And during the pandemic, of course, where they were saying, oh, let's release a lot of inmates out of jail, Mount Dora police, I'm so sorry to put it out there, decided to ride around, I guess. They got a call suspecting that some young men were breaking into a home. My son wasn't breaking into the home, but they said he was trespassing. The law, he's right, you have to know the law. He didn't do anything wrong, but out of fear, he ran. That was strike number 1, because my fear as a mom, I could have been somewhere trying to identify your body. You didn't do anything wrong, but you ran. That was a sign of guilt. So education, you have to teach your kids, and I thought I taught my sons, but out of fear, my son was scared. He wasn't confrontational. He doesn't dress with his pants hanging down. He has braces. He doesn't have dreads. He doesn't, there was no reason to stereotype him, but I believe because of the color of his skin, he was targeted. And I say this because he got 3 charges. Trespass, there was no sign saying don't trespass this house. He went looking for a friend that used to live there, and he didn't live there. 2, resisting arrest. You were never told to stop. He had ran before the police actually stopped. So how did he resist an arrest? They didn't have him in cuffs. 3, the cop, once my son decided to go back to the scene because I said, you're a safety in football, how did you get caught? He said, I walked back, Mom, when I realized, why am I running? I didn't do anything wrong. Wrong thing to do. He went back and, right morally, but the cop got mad and came back with a Newport box of cigarettes and said, here's some crack, you smoke it, I can tell, look at you. I had to go. As a single mom, I'm on an income, and I'm a graduate in criminal justice. So I have some more things to talk about when it comes to the law. But I don't have it like that to get a lawyer, and they know this. The system is set up to where if you can't afford it, you really can't get a lawyer and a public defender. It's working for the state technically. They're just trying to get the best job. They're trying to become a lawyer, so they're gonna just team up with the state and want you to plea out. Please never plea out. But I had to get resources, get my son a lawyer. This is coming from a lawyer. I didn't even know she was African American, but this was coming from her, saying that if you had been Caucasian, you would have got a piece of paper that told you, don't come back here to this house. But because you were black, you got these 3 charges. And all the cops, she works with them. It's a gang within itself. It's a culture within itself. I have learned this in books. It's a gang culture as far as police and as far as the judges and whomever. And they said, you may beat the charges, but you ain't gonna beat the ride. Which means the mental stress of what we just did to you. We just put you in handcuffs, falsely accused you, and you gotta fight your way out of this. So whatever happened to you're innocent until proven guilty? No. You're guilty, and now you gotta find your way to prove that you're innocent. So, education. And my question, I guess, to Rashad and the room was, how do we educate our young men when they are just walking around, just going to grandparents' house or walking, and when they weren't doing anything, and they still get stereotyped, brutalized, drugs planted on them to ruin their lives, and the charges were dropped. They only dropped 2. They wanted my son to plead to 1. And we're still fighting this. But how can he ever forget what he went through being falsely accused? How can he ever You know, now I think he understands when I've been telling him time after time after time. And I don't think it's fair, Rashad, that we have, because of the color of our skin, have to do better. Have to make sure we looking over our shoulder and say, hey, Mr. Officer, because of the color of our skin. I don't think it's fair. I get what you're saying. It is something we may need to do to survive, so I'll tell my son to do it so you can come home. But when your life is in someone's hands and they're judging and they're going to take your life based off the color of your skin, I don't think that is fair. I don't think it is right. Again, with the statistics, the reason, and this question was to Nikita. This was to you, and you didn't ask the question, but you made a comment. I agree. Statistics, the guns and stuff are not being put in certain communities. They're being put in our community, so this addresses you too. For us to kill ourselves. We don't really know how to go get guns, just like we don't know how to go get a lot of drugs that are being shipped into this country. We don't have boats, we don't have planes. So what we do need to become is educated on what is happening to us and what's happening in our communities. A lot of times the reason the statistics show it's not just black on black crime, and I don't mean to ramble, but it's so much on my mind. It's not just black on black crime. There is white on white crime. There is Puerto Rican on there's crime on each race. Each culture has their own crime on each. But ours.
Go ahead.
I just wanna quickly interject while we're agreeing. You did say that there's a such thing as white on white crime and black on black crime.
No, I guess I was saying it's not specifically black on black crime. There's crime on, I believe they commit crimes on each race. Like they commit crimes on each other. Whites kill whites.
So why is black on black crime?
Right.
My question is to media and everyone else, we're not the only community that commits crime. And the social media and the media and CNN and MSNBC and everyone else will have it as if the black community is the only people that kill each other. So my question is, why are we the only community that's being reported on? Because I know for a fact, I went to high school with Heather and Craig Winthrop, and the Vampire Cult. I went to high school with them. And they killed their parents. And they were given life. Half of them were given life. So why is it that we are the only community that's being reported on? That's my only question.
Because our community can
hold on. We don't want to name drop.
Well, that's public though. He found to be
that's on
yeah, he's on death row.
She talking
So
about
that's
people on death row.
yeah. That's already been That's not no street stuff.
That's the wrong name, baby.
Craig? No, that's his real name. Craig and Heather. No, I went to high school with them.
Yeah.
Craig is a white boy and Heather is his white girlfriend. No, that's a fact. No, I said what I said. Craig is an Anglo-Saxon and Heather was his white girlfriend. She was 15. I believe Craig was 18 or 19 at the time. They both have been convicted of the crime, so this is not dry snitching. They've been convicted. Craig is on death row and Heather got off because she convinced the jury that her white boyfriend convinced her to do the crime, when in all actuality, Heather, you know, how the hell would Craig know where the people was at and where they were sleeping at unless your ass told them? Let's be clear about that.
Why is it reported?
Done with it.
Let me answer this and then get
Go
to
ahead,
Bobby.
answer that question.
The question, the reason it's being reported is because they get more funding. We get more funding in the community. The cops in the county, they can get more funding when they show that there's a lot of drug in the crime. They will get new cars. If you ever noticed, they'll get more cars. They'll get more suits. You can show that area has a lot of crime going on. You can get it's more money being funded into that county. The more tickets they write, the more inmates you're putting in jail, the higher the crime. And then how you gonna wherever where they live, Heather them live, you're not gonna report that area. How you gonna sell houses if you report that they killed somebody in that area? Nobody's gonna want to go live there. So you constantly are going to report where the crime is happening in the poor communities, and they're gonna benefit off of it. You know, the council people or whoever in the county. But of course, who's trying to move into our, who wants to move in the hood? That's how they're looking at it. So we're constantly going to push the propaganda that crime is only happening I stayed into arguments with my professors over these statistics that they used to say, okay, I'm going to say this and then we're done. How much is the corona really affecting poor black people? You've been poor. We don't go kill ourselves. When your mama was being beat or your daddy was fighting, we didn't go kill ourselves, but you're not going to sit here and tell me that only domestic violence is happening in black communities and black households. It goes on in whites too. You only report it. You only go and report it. It's called uniform crime reporting. You're only going to go and push it in our community. You're not going to report that it's happening in theirs. So that's why the statistics always reflect that it's happening on us.
This is Pastor Rowe. I just want to say this. Everybody tonight made some valid points, and I feel nobody's here to try and prove who's right, who's wrong. But what I want to leave here with is a solution. We can analysis by paralysis, talk about it all day, but what is the solution? What can we do to help the next person not be affected by the things that we're discussing? So it's good that there are different opinions. We talked about black on black crime, how maybe that is a thing, maybe it's not a thing, but crime is crime. And if we want to protect our young black youth that is coming up, we have to educate them how to operate in a system that's unfair. And so with that being said, as my sister brought up, she said her son wasn't doing anything wrong. But what did he do? And I'm not trying to, he ran. And we have to teach our young people, if you didn't do nothing wrong, don't give them a reason to come after you. I know it's intimidating, you know, when you see a car pull up and you know you ain't do nothing wrong. It's intimidating to sit there and say, you know, I'm not gonna run. I didn't do anything wrong. I mean, it's in, I don't want to say it's in our nature to.
It is, because his friends ran, so he ran.
Yeah. So I mean, but that's just something that I think we just were brought up doing or either taught to do.
Well, I want to interject. I'm 42. Police pulled me over. Hell, I'm nervous.
Yeah. Yeah.
Right.
I don't ride with drugs. I don't sell drugs. I go to work every day. I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I was pulled over about 2 months ago, and I had my son. I'm taking my son to his baseball game. I'm wrong. I'm speeding. Dude pulled me over. First thing he asked me, "Where you going?" Really, that's none of your business. But my son can see I'm nervous.
Yeah.
I've never been in jail. I've never had handcuffs on me. I mean, I'm proud of that, but it's a bad feeling when you get pulled over.
Yeah.
I was speeding. All the man was doing was giving me a ticket, but I'm nervous. And I got to explain to my son, like, well, man, this is how you're supposed to act when you get pulled over. One day, this will be you.
Yeah.
This is how you should act. But me being nervous, him looking at me and what I'm telling him is two different things.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's hard, man. I mean, I'm raising a young black man. I mean, my mother raised me primarily, and my grandmother. It's hard to figure out the right way to bring him up, man. My son is emotional.
Yeah.
He take everything to heart. He be playing a video game and get pissed off and cry and be mad. I'm like, hey man, just hit the restart button. Start over again, you know, but he hates to lose. So I'm nervous about the fact that the first time he gets pulled over or he gets approached, how he'll act. How he'll come home to me when somebody has wrongfully accused him of something or handled him the wrong way, because then I'm going off.
Yeah.
And I gotta kind of, he's 9. I mean, I'm not too much worried about my daughter. She can handle herself. But him, by being emotional, it scares me, man, because I don't know which way to lead him at this point. Do what they say.
That's it. That's all. That's all.
Every command they do, say it. But we've seen people do that and still get killed.
Give me a rice.
So
Bingo.
what way do you? I mean, you can still do everything they say and still get
And
killed.
still get killed.
So what do I tell my son? That's my biggest question
And
tonight.
see, that's an issue. That's a whole nother issue. You're talking about as my sister said, in the prison, there's a group of people. What was it? You said
KKK.
I'm gonna let you say it.
The KKK?
Yes.
I'll say it. That's not a problem. Because they are recognized in America as a organization that is nonprofit.
And so there are.
But the
groups-
Black Panthers were considered a hate group. Let's just put
there
that
are
on
groups
record.
of people that it is what it is. Some people are racist, and that it is what it is. But at the end of the day, my objective is to make it back home to my family.
Absolutely.
And you do what they ask you to do. Now, if you know the law, you can still have a dialogue with the police officer without being disrespectful.
Agreed.
Absolutely.
I don't
Sir,
disagree.
why did you pull me over? Sir, I was, not, well, I ain't do. Then that's when it escalates. But you can have dialogue and be respectful at the same time. Not, But again, I just think that we need to educate and do something. Have workshops where we practice scenarios, how to get out of the situation. Just something, man. Because just talking about it ain't gonna get nothing done.
Let me be clear on this.
Hold on.
Hold
So I'm hearing some great things, and I hear a lot of people that definitely have some valid points. I don't think that all of it addresses what my post was about, which kind of ignited this whole conversation. But when we know that police are, pulling us over, or we know that white people get lesser sentences, or we feel like another group of people and this group of people they have two different titles. It's okay to feel the way you feel, but my question is, what are you doing about it? You can I feel like the police is harming me, or I feel like they're not being as fair to me because I live in this neighborhood or because I drive this car. That can be completely right, and they can be completely wrong. But we all have choices. If you feel that, in this particular neighborhood, the police is going to stop me, hey, no one's stopping you to moving out. They wrong. But no one's making you stay here.
Pull up that nest egg.
Me, the way that I feel is I grew up with both of my parents were on drugs. Everybody know it ain't no secret. But I had a choice. We all got the same 24 hours. If we don't like that, if we get in trouble, we got to get a public defender. Well, educate yourself, boss up, and get and be able to afford you one. If you know the odds are against you, put yourself in position to be able to defend yourself. Because I agree. I think that there's some things that go on that it's not fair. We can go all into the NFL and different things like that. This person is better than this person. The contract is 5 years, 200 million, and the other one got 5 years and 80 million. It happens. Life isn't fair. But when you go around making excuses about why I'm being treated this way or why my child getting treated this way, I teach my son, listen, I'm not gonna make excuses for yourself. We know exactly what it is. We know what it is. We know that life isn't fair. But we also know that you have a choice. If you don't want to be pulled over by the police, then you know what? Do your best not to. If they pull you over, just abide by the rules and regulations. Because I've never seen, and it may have happened, but I've never seen a police say you just handcuff you and take you to jail. Because they always tell you have the right to remain silent. Shut your mouth.
Jimmy Rice.
If you don't want to put yourself in a position so they can paint you into a picture of looking like an aggressor, do everything you can. And there will be situations where you do everything right and they kill you.
That's majority of the situation right
Facts.
now in 2020.
If
They're killing you before they're shooting before they're even asking questions. They're not even getting a point. You can't Miranda right to dead.
Okay, so here is my thing. This is how I feel about that. I don't think that I know I can't, and I'm almost positive I don't think our friend here can say, you know what? I have statistical evidence that this happens 90% of the time. It's just like coronavirus. It's just like black on black crime. There are so many things that the media only allows us to see. It's impossible for us to actually keep an exact number. So for any of us to say, you know what, I know for a fact that 90% of black people get pulled over and they take them to jail for nothing. It just doesn't make sense, and I think that's a shot in the dark. I can say,
What is mass incarceration?
again, we're talking about two different things. I'm not saying that black people don't have it harder than white people. That's not what we're talking about. But I am saying that we can position ourselves in a way to be able to lessen the chances of these things happening to us. You when you grow up, we make choices. I want to be a doctor, I want to be a nurse, I want to be a judge, and there are going to be some things that the obstacles that are put in our way that prevents us from doing that. But that don't mean we got to go be a drug dealer. That don't mean we got to be a bank robber. That don't mean that we still have other options. But we're painting this picture like, well, you know what? The system just tied to me where I got to live in this area and I can't afford this. I don't agree with that. I respect that opinion. But I know plenty of people that I know felons that have went to jail doing 20 years, come out, and they're more successful than the people that have been on the streets for years. So it's all about drive. It's all about determination and not letting any person stand in your way from being who you want to be. Life ain't fair.
Okay. Hold on, Bobs. I got you. No.
He asked for 10 minutes ago.
Go ahead.
Hey, I'm lying, y'all. My sugar dropping low, man. I can't get my thoughts.
Go ahead.
I gotta go get right.
Appreciate you, man.
Yeah.
Hey, but you good to drive?
Yeah, I'll be
Right.
alright.
You want?
Sure.
Yeah.
No, you might need to drink something.
It just happened.
I gotta,
Oh yeah. I'm not saying that you're wrong. That's not what I'm saying. And don't get on that thing talking about that's not what I'm saying.
Go ahead.
Y'all, we having technical
Like,
difficulties.
okay.
Y'all stay with us.
We like the pastor said, we as black people, we need to stop worrying about. We already know the cards we've been dealt. It's never gonna be fair, quote unquote, equal, all that there. So throw that notion out of your head, okay? I would say we as black people, and how the pastor said, we have to be more solution based. Just like when Coach said right here, said even he get a little nervous. What we need to do solution based is teach our younger black men, for one, how mental toughness and how to, just like you say, when you scared off the rip, you automatically gonna you automatically fidget. I have a cousin, my first cousin is a police officer. So police officers look for body language, okay? So if the police come up to you and you are already shook, you are already shaking like a pair of dice, you already know what they think, okay? So first we have to understand, we have to relearn, just like he just said, we have to relearn that fear that we have intentionally as soon as you see the police. Because they looking at your body language as soon as you get there. And nervousness can always be misinterpreted as fidgety, you on drugs, you doing something like that. Just like they said before, she said her son didn't look like a thug, right? And she didn't have dreads and all that. That's exactly how they gonna look. I got dreads. As you can see, I got dreads. I look like one of those guys. I got black lips. They know what time it is. So I'm telling you, when they come to you, you cannot be shook. You can't be shaken. Hey, how you doing, sir? You do have to speak respectfully to the police. That okay, you respect the dog.
You got a question. You got a question.
I got a question.
Go ahead.
Now I know that we have. I grew up in Mount Dora, okay, and I actually just vetted this question with one of our leaders here. A lot of times we fail to forget some of the things and some of the stereotypical things we do as black people. Most of the time we see a white person riding around in a car in the black neighborhood.
They're crackheads.
Oh, they're crackheads. they must be buying drugs. We see somebody riding around that look clean cut. Oh, that's the police. So we have to be very careful about how we worry about people stereotyping us when we do the exact same thing to the other race. So a lot of times we're saying things, but we're not actually looking at our actions to what we're doing. It's all wrong. But we don't want to be stereotyped. But if we see a white person in the neighborhood driving around, oh, they automatically a crackhead. Or if we see somebody riding around in a certain kind of car, They the police.
Rashad, the
Hold on.
problem
Wait,
with
no,
that-
time out,
I don't
time out,
understand
sis.
this.
No. The problem
on.
with that, hold on. The problem
Hold
with
on,
that
I'm gonna
now
let you
in this era and time is, you're right. We do stereotype. We're just not pulling out our guns, running them down the road while
You're not
they're
in the
jogging.
position to
We're
fight.
not shooting anybody that's riding in our neighborhood saying, "Oh, you look like somebody that was broken in the house." And we're not. And when we shoot them,
You get
if we
1,000
do
years.
kill them, we're not going back 3 years to justify why we killed them.
You gonna get
Like a
1,000
dog in the
years.
street. That's my point. What someone did, your rap sheet and your record, that you shouldn't use that to justify whether you're gonna kill someone and they're innocent. That man was just jogging down that road. He didn't do anything wrong that they knew of. If they were in fear, that's when you call the police. They took it upon themselves to try to be the law, judge, and jury, and they killed that man. Okay, let's deal with that. Let's also deal with the fact that the only reason when I saw that, I thought that was something that happened recently, Rashad. You know what the issue is? It's not the fact that it's because there was a video. Oh, I'm sorry. I wanted to just call out Rashad. My people. The only problem there was, he's right. This happens all the time. It was because there was a video. This happened way in February, so nobody, they were going to get away with it.
Facts.
It was the fact that there was
They
a
would've gotten
video
away
that
with it.
surfaced. Now, let that have been you. My problem is, I got questions personally for you. Have you ever been pulled over by the police, Rashad? And hold on, let me finish. No.
We're gonna get there.
No. Have you ever been? Let me.
I'ma answer.
Okay. I'm sure you've been pulled over. You didn't let me finish.
Okay, go ahead. I'm
Have you
sorry.
ever been pulled over by the police and accused of something that you didn't do? Felt violated by them? Have you ever been, like Cedric said, before you can say, "Sir," you have the right to say, "Why am I being pulled over?" That's called probable cause. Before you can get that out your mouth, they're already saying, "Where are you going?"
Right.
Why?
Absolutely.
Why are they asking you where you're going?
Okay.
No. Oh, you gotta turn
Okay.
the camera.
So one thing that I can say, I have been I know that I've been stereotyped.
And you felt you deserved it.
And no, I never.
Yeah, you did.
No, I never felt that I deserved it. But one thing that that happens when you're securing yourself, nobody can really make you believe or respond in a way that you know you aren't. Do I feel like people pull certain people, black people over? We can say black people for absolutely nothing. Absolutely.
Okay.
But here's one thing that I do want to address. We were talking about the Ahmaud Arbery, and he was just jogging down the road. He was an avid jogger, and he was just jogging down the road. Hold on, we ain't talking about Trayvon. We talking about Ahmaud Arbery.
No, we're talking about black in
I've
general.
never seen. So she brought up one thing about this particular situation. I think that us as people, and I'm not just going to say black people. I think all people. A lot of times the media gives us just a little bit,
Right.
and allows us to put our foot in the mouth. Because if you say that someone is a usual jogger, this is something that they've done, and they're an avid jogger, they're basically. I never seen anybody, and I'm not saying that they weren't justified in killing him. Let me say that.
And there's enough.
But who just jogs in khakis?
Cut his mouth off.
Okay, so
No.
Go ahead, because now you done had the mic three times now, Puka. So we let you spew your hatred freely now.
This is what. See here, and this is the problem. We need to be able to respect each other.
You haven't, have you not?
And make sure that we're respectful.
I spoke once, you spoke four times.
Another thing. Here's another thing. Here's another.
Spew your
here's another
hatred
thing.
freely, Puka. Go ahead.
We spoke before the man went into the house. Okay, there's nothing wrong with him going into the house. Nothing wrong with him going into the house. He absolutely did nothing wrong. But when he came out the house, someone shouted and said, "Hey!" and he took off. It's not about what you're doing wrong. Perception is reality to most people. It's just like the same thing that happened with her son. If you know you didn't do anything wrong, they're not right for killing him again.
But how do you
please don't take off running, because we keep
He's
saying
good enough to run on the football
We-
field.
we-
He's used to run.
we
They
keep-
use him to
hold
run
on.
for a safety for
Hold
high
on.
school. He thinks to run.
Okay.
Hold on, no. I got this.
So again, we have all this knowledge of saying that we know that the system is going to treat us. Hold on, they're going to treat us a certain way. They're going to give us all these disadvantages. But for some reason, somebody shout our name. Let's run and help them out.
Oh, I got a
Please,
question.
now, because I done been waiting patiently for 30 minutes.
See, that made me think of a question. That made me think of a question.
See it in the pool.
You go into a haunted house.
Yes.
You know you're walking into a haunted house.
Absolutely.
You know it's props set up for to scare you.
Right.
You know things are gonna jump out to scare you,
Right.
right?
Absolutely.
But still, again, when they jump out, you almost piss on yourself.
Straight.
Right.
You know what you're walking into, but
Right.
you still get scared.
Right.
It's the same situation.
Worse.
So
I can tell.
So
I can
old
tell.
lady, do you know the age of the person that called his name?
You can. I don't care what the age is.
Okay, no.
I don't care what age.
I'm asking you.
But I don't-
I'm asking you questions.
I don't know.
Okay.
I
Do you
don't
know how close
But
the person was to
But
him?
that
So,
shouldn't.
any-
Hold on. That shouldn't be a fact. That shouldn't be a That shouldn't matter how old they were.
Let me ask you a question.
But you ever been told?
in
You
a
ever been
haunted house?
told? You ever
How
been told
close are people to
something?
you in a haunted house? Just answer the question.
They're not allowed to touch you.
Okay.
They can get this close to you, but can't touch you.
Okay, so this person was about 100 yards away. You mean to tell me that person shouted at that person? And I'm not saying I know that it's wrong. I want you to understand. We can't say that someone yelled,
That
so
goes
we
back
just
to-
took off running.
That goes back to the point
You
of
don't
me.
have to
That
stop
goes back to the
somebody
point of
yells at
me
you.
being pulled over.
You don't have to stop.
I know I don't have anything in my truck. I know I don't have anything illegal. I know my license are good. I know that I don't have any warrants. But I'm still in a panic mode.
With the police.
With the police.
Was the person that
What?
yelled at him a
What?
police?
What are we talking about?
I don't know what they were.
Exactly. So
Come on,
we
Amy.
talking about facts that we don't know.
But is him running because somebody said, hey, justified people tracking him down?
Absolutely not.
One dude was on the back of a
So we agree on that part.
Absolutely.
Okay.
So I just
So
said
wait a
that.
minute.
But I'm trying to figure out. But hold on, I'm trying to figure out your point of because he ran when somebody called his house when he came out of the house. If he didn't run, they were still looking for him.
Absolutely right. So my comment about why did he run was that again we have all this great knowledge that we're going.
Well, I don't mean to cut you off. But I just literally said this to you 10 minutes ago. As a black male, you were brought up to be in fear of the police.
So let me correct that.
Hold on.
Can
you answer that? Can you answer that?
Okay, so
as a black male being raised, I don't care what house you were raised in.
Exactly.
When you saw the police, it was fear.
Yes or no, Rashad?
I have to be honest.
Yes
It
or
was
no?
fear.
Can I be honest?
Be scared.
Let me be honest.
Every child you see right now, scared of the police.
Hold on.
And my question is, why are we teaching our children?
Let me answer. In your situation when someone is
No, not in my situation. Growing up.
I was not afraid of the police.
That's what I'm
Why
saying.
not?
I wasn't afraid of the police because how can I be? And I got to be real careful about how I say
You're
this.
contradicting yourself because you're telling us to
hold
tell
on,
our
hold on.
children to be afraid. Why
So-
can't you say, don't move around, do
No,
this?
that's not being afraid. That's just being
That's
You
just-
respectful.
don't have to do that,
that's
Bobby.
being tactful.
White people do not teach. They don't teach their children that.
Okay.
Why
So-
are we in
so-
the black community having to teach our children
Okay.
that?
Their children are not dying.
Thank
So
you.
do you admit that we're being killed unjustly?
You just proved our
so
point.
listen.
You just proved our point, Bobby.
so listen.
That's not what he's saying.
So with our children dying, that's why I said we have to train
And all we
them
were saying
how
that
to-
don't you
how to
see how that
react
is
in
not
a- in
don't
an
you see
unfair-
how
It's a
that
victim
is not
mentality.
right?
But is
Yeah,
that not?
we have to teach
So I
them.
said that to say this.
Is that not?
I don't disagree.
Is that not teaching him fear though?
Right.
I don't disagree with the pastor.
Yes,
I don't
that's
disagree with
teaching
Puka. I understand what you all are saying.
Yeah.
You all are saying to train them to come home alive. But my whole point is, you all subscribe to what Martin was talking about,
Thank
right?
you. We
And that's
are by
okay.
any means
It's okay.
necessary.
That carried us for
We
100,
by
well, 50
Malcolm.
years, right?
We by
Because
Malcolm.
he died in 60 some odd years, and that was okay then. You all subscribe to what Martin was talking about, and that's okay. Martin had a point. He did. When Martin was preaching, he had a point. However, we in 2020, we subscribe to the shit Malcolm was talking about. And that's all we saying. We're not going to be scared anymore. We're not going to hide anymore. We're not going to put guards on our windows anymore. If you're going to burn a cross, bitch, we going to hold the same weapons that you're going to hold. And that's just down on that. Hold on, because I'm not done. Because I let y'all ride for 20 some odd minutes, and now I got something I want to say. So my point is, it is very dangerous. It is a very dangerous situation when a black man, black woman, whomever, gets into a situation where they are saying, listen, y'all, we got to do this because white folk, they're going to gun us down. No, fuck that. Because let me explain to you something this. And you can, my language is my language, but I said what I said. And let me be very clear on that. If you get to a point as a black man where you are justifying the actions of an unjust Indian, white man, black, it don't matter. Black on black, white on black, Indian on black, it doesn't matter who it is. If you get to a point where you are unjustly justifying the actions when a black man is murdered, black child, because it's mostly children, let's be clear about it. Black children, wait, hold on. I didn't say you did. I didn't say you did.
You said
well, if the shoe fit well, if it's too tight, take it off. Now, I said what I said. Now, I didn't say you specifically. I said period. Now, if we get to a point as a black people where we are justifying black children, because that's who's being killed, Jameer Rice, Trayvon Martin, they're black children. They're being portrayed in the media as black men, but they are children. That child was 13 years old. They are children being gunned down in the streets. Okay, so we get to a point where we are justifying because you didn't breathe right, or you didn't blink right, or when I said you raise your left hand and you raise your right hand, I shot you. If we get to a point as a society that we are justifying black children being gunned down, then we have lost. Let me be very clear on that. Okay, now I don't, wait, no, you cannot, because when you would speak, I was quiet.
I have one.
And I said what I said, and I'm going to say what I'm going to say. Okay, so now we are fast forwarding into 2020. Now let me be very clear on this. If we get to a point where as black people we are justifying the reason why black children are being gunned down, and then we cite things like, well, if you had sneezed right, or if you had lifted your left leg when I told you to lift your right leg, you would still be here. Okay, so I said that to say this. Okay, some people they prescribe to the Martin Luther King method. And that's okay. Hold on.
We need to know what
turn the other cheek.
Okay.
And Martin Luther King himself, because one thing about me, I don't just speak, right? I do my research. Martin Luther King himself said, if you read his final interview, he himself said that if he had had the knowledge that he had had 40 years prior, he would have took a different approach. He himself knew that his approach was wrong and it didn't work, right? Okay, so that turn the other cheek shit, it don't work in 2020.
Okay.
Because they gunning us down. And I guarantee if you go on the Trail of Tears, and y'all have to Google that because I don't have time to teach y'all about that right now. But if you Google the Trail of Tears, where the Indian, okay, or however you want to, Native American, or however you want to word them, if you Google them and you ask them right now, would you like a gun? I guarantee you they'd say, well, yes, I would actually. Because they were stripped of their weapons. Because they were told that, oh, if you do like we say, then you'll be all right. And guess what the hell happened? They was gunned down by the hundreds. That's why they called it the Trail of Tears, because the women and the children that were left walking up that 100-mile path by themselves with no husband and no son and no father, because they were killed. That's why they called it the Trail of Tears. They cried for 100 miles until they got to Oklahoma and Nebraska and wherever they were going. So I said that to say this. We will not take on, and I say that publicly, and I will say that, and I will teach my African-American son the same thing. I said that to say this. We will no longer take on the position of house nigga. Let's be clear. We're not doing it, okay? We're not doing it. If you come for mine, I'm coming for yours. Let's be very, very clear. That whole mentality of every time Massa cough, well, what's wrong, Massa? We sick? No, we ain't sick, bitch, you sick. Ain't nothing wrong with us. Well, what's wrong? Every time Massa take a deep breath, well, what's wrong, Massa? We got a cold? No, bitch, you got a cold. Ain't nothing wrong with us. So we're done with it. So I said that to say this. It is very dangerous. It is it's a very dangerous position for a black man to take a position to say, well, if we just do this right, they won't kill us. Yes, they will. Yes, they will. Jameer Rice has proven that. Trayvon Martin has proven that. Young man in St. Louis, last name Brown, who first name I can't think of, Michael Brown has proven that. They will. So there's no right way to be a good nigga. Okay, let's be clear on that. There's no such thing as a good nigga. They're gonna kill us regardless. Whether you're a house nigga, a field nigga, a nigga that they raid, whatever. Because I call a spade, and you like to call it something else, but I call it what it is. There's no right way to be a good nigga.
Okay, so let me ask you a question.
Okay, go ahead, because I'm ready for questions.
Tell me a little bit about this Malcolm X approach that you have.
Okay.
What does that entail?
Okay, so Malcolm X believed in the approach that He believed in the eye for an eye method. And if it left us all blind, then damn it, so be it. Okay. Because the Martin approach didn't work. We tried it for 25 years at least. Because he started it in 64. Actually, started before then. But my mom was born in 64. So I use 64 as a reference because that's the history that I was taught, right? So we use 64 as a reference. So, okay, 64 before whenever. Okay. And then we tried it up until 84, 89. We proved it didn't work. The turn the other cheek, we just sit there really nice at the bench and they spit on us and they kick us and they put the water hose on us and they put their dogs on us. And as long as we be really, really nice and really, really quiet, eventually they'll see that we's a good people and they're going to be nice to us. The shit didn't work. They ate us like fucking wolves.
So what's
okay?
the
The shit didn't work.
the
So the Malcolm approach was, well, let's take the same approach they take. If you sick your dogs on us, we sick our dogs on y'all.
Okay, so
you
stop.
point your guns on us,
So-
we point our guns on y'all.
All right, so I just want to make sure the camera get me asking you this question.
Okay,
So
go ahead.
you're saying that if white cops
Okay.
kill our young black men, either the black police or us, we people.
No, I'm not saying that as a whole.
Because you said an eye for an eye. I'm trying to
No.
Hold on a second. I got a good question.
Okay, hold on.
I'm just asking. 'cause
Well,
hold on,
I'm going to respond.
I got a good question for you.
Okay.
Somebody said, what do you teach your son to do when if he's pulled over? What will you be teaching your son to do?
Okay. So the first thing I'm going to teach my son to do, my son is 2, so let's, I don't like to.
you
No. I'm going to respond.
You have to have that
Stand
conversation
by.
eventually.
Stand by, because you asked me a question. I'm going to respond. My son is 2, so I like to put my answer in a realistic realm, right? So we're not talking about a 16 or 17-year-old kid. We're talking about a 2-year-old child. Right. So 16 years from now, if it just so happens to happen, let me be clear about this. I don't disagree with what the pastor and Puka is saying. I don't disagree with it in total. It's not like I'm one of those people that's saying they're far-fetched. These niggas is lost. That's not what I'm saying. I agree with you in part. What I'm saying is the method that you're teaching in whole, it doesn't work. We've tried it. We tried it from 64 to 89. This shit doesn't work. We were gunned down like fucking dogs. It doesn't work.
Right,
So hold on, wait. So I'm gonna answer your question, Cedric. So my question, the answer to your question is, what am I teaching my son?
What will you teach your son to do when he's pulled over?
Okay, so the answer to your question is, what am I teaching my son? If my son is pulled over, the initial method that I'm teaching you all is the same thing that Puka and the pastor was saying. Do what you can to get home, because that's all I got. I only have one child. I don't have 6 other kids behind him. That's what I said, Puka. I didn't disagree with you. I only disagree with your wording, because as a black man, your words are powerful. Whether you realize it or not, your words hold more power than you realize.
Okay.
And hold on, wait. Hold on. You're going to hold your question. I didn't disagree with what you said in theory. I agree with you. I said that on Facebook when you messaged me. I agree with you in theory. When you messaged me, I agree with you in theory. My only disagreement was the way you said it.
Okay.
Because white people take those words and they, yeah, brother Puka, tell them niggas how to act. And they think you a house, like you some kind of fucking, like, you know what I'm saying? Like you some kind of governor over us. The hell? You don't speak for us. So to answer your question, I will teach him exactly what the pastor and Puka has said. Do what you can to come home alive. Because they didn't, hold on, wait. Because I have the money to hire a lawyer. I work a good job. I've been to college. I have it. We can go to court and we can fight this. Come home alive. But if that does not work, by all means, son, I'd rather you die for something than to stand for anything.
That's what I'm at. I teach my son.
Absolutely. I'd rather you be, hold on, sis. I'd rather you end up being a Trayvon Martin than a push button nigga. Any day. I promise you I would. I would tat your name on my skin and wear your t-shirt every day than for you to go down saying this is what I believe and I knew what I was doing was right and I didn't do anything wrong and I was a martyr for my cause than to say, oh, I died on my knees. I'd rather you stand on your feet because I can stand behind that. So to answer your question, that is my answer. I want him to do what they're saying. I don't disagree with what the brothers are saying. I don't disagree with y'all. I just don't agree with y'all in whole, is all I'm saying. There is a second part to what y'all saying.
Yeah, and let me say this. And I think, and I'm going to say this, I think all of us agree that an unarmed man getting shot down the road you can't justify that.
Facts.
Absolutely.
Facts. I think we all
You
agree
can't
on that.
justify
Facts.
that.
Facts.
I think where we, I don't want to say disagree, but where we difference in opinions is our approach.
Okay,
And that's
agreed.
and that's it. Our approach is different. In basketball, we guarded a certain player differently than we guarded another player. That player, if a player was a threat in scoring and driving to the hole, we would run a zone so he couldn't drive to the hole. So the approach is different. Doesn't mean that what working for this one is working for that one is not a good approach. It's just different, and we have to understand that different is not deficient. Okay, the way I operate works for me, but if you try to operate like me, it may not work for you. That don't mean I'm right and you wrong, or you right and I'm wrong. It's just a difference of approach.
Absolutely.
And I think that that's where we get into arguments at in how we approach situations. Biblically, being a pastor, Scripture tells me to turn the other cheek. Scripture tells me to forgive. So if I'm operating biblically, then I abide by those principles. But somebody else who's not biblically will say, I'm going eye for an eye. I'm going to get back. So it's a matter of whatever, you know. So I mean that's but at the end of the day, we all agree that anybody being shot down in the street unarmed
Absolutely.
is that's not justified. You can't justify that. So that's all I got to say about it.
In conclusion,
How
we
you
in
going
conclusion, and what I mean by conclusion, I'm saying as far as when he was saying we need to have solutions. We talking about the problem without a solution. We still haven't came to a solution. Okay, what was the solution that you said, then, Rashad?
So again, my solution was number one, and I think that eventually everybody kind of maybe didn't like the way that I said it, but I think I said it the same way from 4 days ago. Just make it home, be tactful in your approach, be tactful in how you respond, and be tactful on how you fight your battles. You wouldn't take a knife to a gunfight, so just be tactful about what you do. Again, everybody has different views, different opinions. Some of us have experienced things that others haven't. I could be insensitive to something that I may have not experienced. I can understand that. But I also don't think it's very smart to say we're going to take an approach like Malcolm and we just going to, you know what, they got guns, we got guns. That to me is silly. It just doesn't make sense. We can't say I want to teach my son to make sure they make it home, but by the way, the heck with that Martin stuff. And when you say that Martin stuff, you also say the heck with that Jesus stuff as well. So we gotta really understand what we're saying.
Man.
And we're going to say, you know what, we're gonna do the Malcolm X thing because Malcolm X was the kind of person where he ain't gonna take no crap. And then I feel that the only thing that's gonna happen then, we're gonna have bodies everywhere. Then no one wins. So I hope everybody, took something from what I said. I won't be getting back on the camera anymore. I respect everybody around here. I'm going to be praying for everybody. And hopefully we can come down to a solution because at the end of the day, if we do things like that, again, my solution is number one, don't run. Number two, be respectful to people who have badges because at the end of the day, they are the authority in that situation. Also, if you don't like the situation that you're in, you don't like your neighborhood, you don't like being able to not have an attorney and different things. If we don't like those things, let's start making different decisions because
But Rashad,
absolutely.
Hold on, Rashad. What if I like my hood?
Okay, so if
What if I love my hood?
okay,
Right.
so
But I don't want to be gunned down in it.
okay,
There you go.
so let me answer that. So again,
I like how y'all just jacked
it
it.
comes to this.
I like that.
We can love our hood, we can love our friends, but know that they're not good for where we're trying to go. Because if you, but hold on, don't listen to what I'm saying. Hold on, listen to what I'm saying. Let me
But what
finish.
you saying
Just
is-
let me
hold on,
finish.
what you
Let me
saying?
finish.
You're saying everybody can't go with you. That's what you're saying.
No, that's not what I'm saying. I think we're kind of trying to formulate what I'm saying.
No,
Okay,
no.
so here's what I'm saying. If we know that, you know what, if in this neighborhood, these police, they're just terrible. This may or may not be a good place for me to raise my child. Then we have to think, no matter how much we love our hood, it may be a good idea for us to move out our hood.
I disagree.
If you look at Nipsey Hussle,
What
out
if
of
they can't
everything
move?
that he
Prime- prime example.
Let's not interrupt. Let's not interrupt.
This is prime example.
Let's not interrupt.
This is prime example.
Let's not interrupt. Listen to what I'm saying.
I can't even talk.
You take somebody like Nipsey Hussle, gave back to his hood, gave
You ain't
people
never even listening to this. I'm talking
on
to
the
this.
streets
You ain't nothing like
jobs,
me. You don't know nothing about
all of
me.
these things, all the time to get killed by somebody that was in his own set. So there is no perfect way of doing things. I'm not saying you have to move away from your hood,
That's what
but
you
if you,
said.
that's not what I said. I said, look, if you
Just
feel
come
no,
on, you
I
just
said
own what you say,
if
Rashad.
your hood, if you feel that, you know what, this is not a good area for me.
No, I don't like
No
what's
matter
happening
if
in
you
this
love it.
area. Like he said, I
He's
like
saying
my
if
hood.
it's bad,
I
move
gotta
out.
cut-
Okay, hold on. He's saying if it's bad, move the fuck out.
Hold on, I gotta cut you
Hold
off.
on, because Bob's is next,
because we
because he's
have
been
a prime-
asking for like 30 minutes.
I'm gonna let Bob speak after this. We have a prime
If you
example.
like it.
We have a prime example of
There you go.
you said if you don't like your situation in the hood, get out.
If you feel like it's necessary, yes.
Right, right.
Absolutely.
15
Pastor
though.
Rowe, I grew up with you. We went to school together. We graduated together. How long did you move away from here for?
17 years.
17 years. You brought your family back to where? Your hood.
Yeah.
And you do every day you strive to make a what? A change.
Thank you.
Okay.
That's not running and saying, man, you know what? I ain't raising my kids here.
Thank you.
Fuck them niggas.
Hey, hold on. Let me
That's
finish.
what he's saying. He's saying.
You way out.
No, I'm
Saying.
not.
Did he
This
complain
man
about
brought-
his hood?
This man brought
You
me.
know, asking.
For years.
Did he complain about his hood?
And then he came back and decided to do something about it.
Hold on.
You're talking about
but you're not
somebody
li-
that
you
hasn't
didn't
complained
listen to
about
what
the
I
hood.
said.
Yes, you
We grew up here together.
Again.
Our situations were difficult growing up here. Our mothers raised us. Right?
Okay. Yeah. Okay.
Our mothers raised us.
Okay.
Okay? When we were coming up, we had to pretty much make on our own. We had to make decisions to make right choices. We had friends doing the wrong thing.
Absolutely.
But I never saw this as a place. I had opportunities to move away from here, but I never saw this as a place to, man, you know what?
Your daddy on
This-
the podcast.
This is not a place I can raise my family. This is Lake County, Mount Dora, wherever. This is too rough for me to raise my family. I've never moved away from here. I moved to Eustis, but I never left this area because this area is what made me.
Is it too rough?
That's what made me.
It ain't too rough.
It can be rough.
It's a
No, is it too rough for you to raise your family here?
It can be, but
Yeah.
as a man,
where you don't be at.
I think I'm better than certain situations. I'm better than certain situations. I'm not gonna run because things get rough in my hood.
There you go.
You know what I do? I try to make a difference.
There you go.
This man tries to make a difference every day, every Wednesday, every Saturday. He's on the corner giving away food.
Yeah, I've been at the part where he's
A month
approached
ago-
single mothers like bring your children
hold
for
on. A month
tutoring.
ago,
To your credit, I have
a month
seen
ago, we gave away 100 chicken sandwiches.
it. Yeah, I've seen it.
It's a way you can approach that.
Right.
I don't keep I got a family member of mine, and I won't say their name. They did everything they could to keep their child out the hood, out the ghetto. That's what they call it. But you were raised here. You were this hold on. This same place that made you,
I don't know.
but you want to keep your child from it.
Didn't raise him.
Keep your child from it. This same child has maybe 2 black friends. When they come to certain areas in East Town, dang, I didn't even know this existed.
Okay.
But you lived here all your life.
Thank you.
Okay.
You lived here all your life.
And that's dangerous.
Man, listen.
How's that?
It's
It is dangerous. It is dangerous because
No, educate me on the help me
because
understand.
the same thing that made your mom and dad is the same thing that molded you. You may think, okay, my mom and dad. You said,
may
hold on,
think
hold
you're
on.
different.
You
He
said,
don't. He
you
don't.
said
He
the
don't.
same thing. You said your mom and dad were on drugs.
Absolutely.
Right? Something in their turnaround made you, molded you. Your dad's will to come out of that made you the man you are.
That doesn't handcuff me.
It's
to
not
a certain
handcuffing
area.
you. It's not handcuffing you to a
It
certain
doesn't.
area. I'm saying you chose to get out. That don't mean somebody else's situation is making them to where, hey man, if your situation so bad, won't you leave? I did it.
That's a choice,
It's not.
right?
It's a choice, but
Okay,
that shouldn't be your advice to everybody.
Right.
That shouldn't be your advice to everybody.
If you want,
hey man,
so my advice shouldn't be. Let me make
instead,
sure.
Instead of, hold on.
So
instead
we
of
can get everything
complaining,
together.
instead of complaining,
Instead of saying,
Get out.
this is what I did, get out, this is what you should do. Let me show you how I got out. But when you get on Facebook and you say words like y'all, them,
Oh, God.
they, you separate yourself. Hold on, wait. No. You separate yourself from who it really applies to.
Okay, so
Puka,
what-
I'm not
so
saying
what
you're
I- so
wrong.
what I-
Hold
hold on,
on,
so-
wait.
so
No,
when I
wait,
say
Puka,
y'all-
hold on, because we had your
When
time.
I say y'all, let me, and I'm gonna
Puka,
let you
hold
rock.
on.
When I
I'm
say
not
y'all-
saying you wrong, Puka. Puka, you are very intelligent. You're very smart.
No,
You're very
let me turn the
driven.
camera on. Let me turn the camera on.
Yeah, you are very smart. You are very intelligent. You're very driven. All those things. We grew up together, Puka. I'm not saying I disagree with you. What I am saying is when you use words like y'all, them, they, da, 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 you're separating yourself from the demographic.
no, that's not true.
So this
So
is
let
what.
me
No,
tell you what I'm
wait,
doing.
hold on. What I'm saying is, instead of
all
you
around.
saying, no, what I'm saying is, instead of you saying words like that, what you should do is say, because me, Puka, I grew up in the same situation. My mom wasn't on crack, but she was an alcoholic, and I have an absentee daddy. We all got similar stories, you know what I'm saying? Unfortunately, that's just a part of being in the hood. We all got a lot of similar stories. And what I am saying is, do you know how many females, black females especially, that have come to me and said, "Oh, I heard you was in the military. Tell me about it." They're like, "Okay, well, sis, this is the pros. This is the cons. If I had this knowledge 20 years ago, I would have done this, this, and this. This is what you should do." Da, da, da. I have put more people in the Navy than I have in the Army, and I'm a 9-year Army veteran. But I'm telling you, because of my knowledge, I'm saying this is what you should do. Because if somebody had told me this back in 2002. I would have made that decision. I would have made better choices.
Can I ask
so
you a question?
Hold on. So what I am saying to you is, instead of using
When you send
terms
them to the
like
Navy, where are you telling them to go? Away from where?
wherever,
Away from here, right?
whole ass, wherever.
They approached her.
But what I am saying is, they approach me directly.
They approached
Puka,
her.
I don't disagree with you.
Navy and then go.
Yes.
Right.
What I am saying, I don't disagree with you, Puka.
Opportunities in football.
Okay, but what I am
You have
saying,
to go to college.
Yeah,
hold
Nobody's
on, go
telling you not to go to the
ahead.
Navy.
My turn.
Nobody's telling you not to
It's
go
on
to
you.
college or the Navy.
Oh, hold on.
I got it.
I don't know how to switch this one.
Yeah, this is getting late.
Okay, there you go.
And what
Nah,
I was saying was this right here. When he
No, we ain't got that long.
What I was saying was this, man. We have to be solution based. Just like he said, he used up Nipsey Hussle. You
Oh,
can't
no, man, I
you
got
can't
pictures.
use Nipsey because Nipsey was the exact opposite of what he said. And to quote Malcolm X, like my sister say, you know what I mean? A lot of black people, that's what we want to do. As soon as we get something, we move out of the hood. Instead of taking that knowledge that you just learned when you went to Columbia, when you went to Greenville,
And
or whatever
Stanford,
college that you went to,
and Yale.
and there you go. A lot of black people that come from hood, that come from disenfranchised situations, go to college, get their quote unquote education, and come back and look down on other black people like,
You
oh,
niggas
well,
tripping.
hey, why didn't you do what I do? But Puka, you gotta understand, and not just you, black people in general, okay? If you're a black person who you got a scholarship, you played sports, or you were, even if you got a scholarship and you were smart, some people don't have that avenue. It's some people who go home and they mom and them ain't worried about what they doing. Okay, ain't no homework they doing, so you can't look at everybody and think they have the same thing. Puka, if you could, I played football with you. Okay, football saved your life.
Right.
Okay, all right. Okay,
Now you got to admit that.
And then, now listen, guys. Me and Courtney Keith
could've ran track.
have for probably about 2 or 3 weeks now been holding free training at the Frank Brown field. Okay, a man like Rashad, who has went
It's been
came from the
trouble. That's
bottom
what I'm saying. Get
up
out
to
of
the
it.
top, has
That's
played
what we saying.
college football,
But then
he's
y'all saying
almost
don't
in the
say that.
NFL. Do you know the knowledge? Do you know when I go and talk to them kids, they listen to me, but I ain't played college football. So it's only so much I can give them. We need people like him who can come out there and talk to them. When I talk to a kid, I can't tell them about going to college because I did 2 weeks in college.
Right.
Okay? I went to Hillsborough Community College. You feel me? I didn't have no scholarship. So I can't talk to them like that. We need people, everybody worry about the youth and why the youth so bad, nobody's coming back. You want to know why Wesley Green having so much success?
Right.
Because he come back in the hood, they see him.
In the middle
Right.
of
They know him.
Facts.
365, they know him. He rocking with the kids. So before you get up on your high horse, on your pedestal, and talk about you as a black person, talk about how bad black people is in the hood, and you ain't coming back and talking to nobody, and you made it out. Come on, you was more than half the reason. Because these little kids who walking up Grant, walking up Jackson, on Grandview, that's on Molly, that's selling whatever, that's toting pistols, You feel me? Somebody like me can't tell them about getting out. Because look what they going to tell me, bro. When you got
ain't
out,
left,
you
right?
went to Tampa for 2.5 and your roommate got killed, you came back then. I
Right.
can't tell them that. But Puka, you can go and say, guess what? Boy, I had some hard times up there in North Carolina. I wanted to come back. You feel me? But I had to, tough it out. You know what I mean? It's going to be hard when you get there. I can't tell them that. You feel me? So that's the kind of stuff that we need strong black people who have made it. You successful black people like that, quote unquote, you successful black people who are always talking bad about the hood when y'all come back. Because most of y'all move to Orlando and think y'all done moved somewhere. 30 miles away, you think you done moved somewhere. You still in the same place, bro. You feel me?
Okay,
The
so-
ghetto is not a place, it's a mentality. And why we stay in this mentality is because when people do so happen to get out, they ain't coming back and getting their hand. They looking like they bigger and better than you. You feel me? So that's what's really going on. If you really want to make a difference in the community, come back and talk to these young kids. Say something to them. Just holler at them. What's up, bro? You good? Build a rapport with them instead of every time you see the jit, turn your nose up that jit. Why you doing this? When you see the jit on drugs, go holler at them.
I won't. I'm gonna sit right here.
Instead of just laughing and all this stuff here, man, black people, we got to stop turning our nose up at other black people and start helping each other. That's what we got to start doing.
Absolutely.
Can I say something?
Go ahead, cuz.
Now,
Hey, y'all.
if you attack me, I'm attack.
I'm not.
Drink then.
I think
No, you won't sit this
with this whole podcast today,
And just
the
by the way, she's supposed to be working, y'all. But
yeah,
she's talking.
this is my spot.
Talk that shit,
But with this whole podcast today, I want he just ran to the restroom, but there's a way to say things, and with this, the reason we're so heated or they're so heated in this conversation is because he wasn't delicate in the way that he said these things. You cannot say certain things publicly
words.
because whites will run with it. Certain whites will run with it, and like she said, they responded in a way, and I've been there before in myself
Chad on here right now,
to where I had
co-signing.
to say, you know what? No, that was not my position to my own white friends. I need Rashad to understand what he's saying. He has to say it a specific way so that his white friends don't feel like, yes, you know what? You should go ahead and say it that way because we've been trying to say it that way. But if we say it, we seem like we're racist. Those comments are still borderline there. So in this whole podcast, it was this
No, I
heated
didn't feel
because
that.
it wasn't treated delicately. So Rashad, with the things that you were saying, there's just a way to say it. And
This is what the hood do.
and telling blacks,
You mean the hood that your mama stay around the corner from? That hood?
right? Telling blacks that there's a specific
Boy, that's
way-
your ass then.
Hold on.
Chad Fuller say he
Telling
love all
blacks
people.
that there's a specific way
Chad,
to
Chad, I want
respond
you
to
to.
things.
Chad, I'm gonna turn
and
somebody
then
loose on you in a minute. You better calm down. I'm gonna turn Miss Duncan loose on you.
Did he sip it, Cedric?
Huh?
I didn't see him.
What
sip
did
it.
Chad say?
Chad said he love all people.
Hey, but
He on
do
the
you get what I'm saying?
Yeah,
Saying that?
Absolutely. So what I'm hearing is that, number one, sometimes us is I wouldn't say I'm super successful. I think that I'm an average person that's been blessed.
Agreed.
But I think that sometimes when we say that we're afraid, I think sometimes people that are blessed to make it to certain levels and things, whether it's an artist, whether it's somebody that own their own business, we also have to be tactful as well.
I agree to
So
that.
when I say we have to be tactful with those kind of things as well, if we look at numbers and we look at patterns, a lot of times when people do come back to some of our own neighborhoods, and I'm not telling anybody don't come back, I come to Mount Dora all the time.
Lies.
Sometimes they get killed. Sometimes they get killed by the very person that stands next to them.
When the last time
You know.
was-
So hold on. So it's one of those things where everyone speaks on their own experience. I'm one of those people where I can open up our avenues and try to coach the children and talk to children, but I also don't want to be an absent father in my own kids' lives. So we have to make sure.
Courtney got kids. He got kids, bro. You got
What I'm talking about my specific situation.
I got you, but I gotta stop you
Bro,
there.
you got it.
I gotta stop you there. I got 3 kids.
Bro,
No, I'm talking about me.
Hold on.
Yeah,
I know you're talking about you.
Everybody got
So you can't speak for me.
But you touched a nerve with me because I coached you.
Right.
Okay, thank you. He took time away from
I-
his
His
kids.
kids to coach
So
you.
I neglected my kids to help
For
you.
you.
My story, not your story. Okay,
Exactly.
so let
Thank
me,
you.
so let me, so
That's
let
what
me, so let me,
man.
no,
Yes,
no,
yes,
no, no,
that's
so
what
let, so let me give you,
So you mean
give you an
the time I
example.
took away from my family?
So let me give you an example.
Is that existed?
Yeah.
Hold on, let me give you an example. Let me give you an example.
Go ahead. He gonna dig it deep.
If I feel that, you know what, see, here's the thing. A lot of us, we speak on other people's situation when you don't know what's going on with me. You're not walking miles in my shoes.
Yes.
So when you were able to give your time, that doesn't obligate me to give my time because
Exactly.
no one knows what I'm going through.
Okay.
When I have to go to work, I may have to work 12 to 16 hours.
Okay.
And hold on,
Everybody here work.
hold on. No, see, you're missing the point. What I'm saying is my
You wanna-
story.
Hold on.
My story.
You want to
made my
make a
people's
point,
story.
and nobody else's point is matters.
No, that's not what I'm
That's-
saying.
that's what I'm getting from this, because-
I'm talking about me. You're
I
making it
understand.
about you.
Okay, and I'm not making it about
It's
you.
us.
I'm talking about my situation. You're talking about your situation.
Okay, but you can't.
What makes yours right and mine wrong?
No one's making it. I said that's why I said we're talking
why
about
don't you do
my
something for the
situation.
community?
So here's what I'm doing for the community. Number one, I'm making sure, and I think all of us should adapt this mentality. Let's make sure that if we can, let's put ourselves in a position to make a difference.
I'm here every day.
I'm not talking about you. You're taking it personal.
You said us.
I said, when I say us, I mean that, you know what, if we want to make, it's just like, you know what, if we want fairness in the judicial system, let's make sure that we put ourselves in those positions.
Infiltrate the system you're trying to change. Understand? You want us to get in there.
Talk that shit,
Get in there.
cuz.
I get it. Yeah, absolutely. So here's what I mean. I give you a prime example. Hold on.
No,
Listen.
he don't even.
You only
I
get
give you
half a
a prime
ball.
example. When you look at the
I don't know
situation,
how you got me wrapped up in this.
When you look at-
now you got me.
Who's
You
you?
got me a little tested.
okay,
You invited me here. Who is you?
you gotta listen. So you look at the situation with Jay-Z. Okay, so Jay-Z has
We
always.
can't talk about Jay-Z. We talk about.
Okay, so
Regular motherfucker.
Here's what this circle right here.
I'm about.
We're talking about this circle right here.
We're talking about people.
Let's not go with Jay-Z. Jay-Z's a millionaire.
We're talking about. No, he actually a billionaire.
Let's go.
But we're talking
Billionaire.
Now, either you gonna respect what I'm saying,
I respect
okay.
you.
So let me talk.
I had $60 in my
But you don't know
booth.
what you don't know
And I
how to
took
talk
it out
about.
and put it in
No,
my
I'm
crown
talking
roll
and you
bag
trying
like
to
a
intervene.
supposed to.
Okay, so when we look at Jay-Z's situation, we're not talking about the status of a person. We're talking about the technique on how he positioned himself to be able to make a difference. Hold on. We talk about people like Colin Kaepernick and things like that. See, when Jay-Z actually, we was cool when he was rapping against the NFL. If you listen to his lyrics, he was going at the NFL. But the man was smart. Oh yeah, all you got to do is listen. But when he got in fellowship in the NFL and got a position in the NFL, we wanted to call him a sellout.
Who said that?
Hold on.
We still fuck with Jay.
Okay, listen.
Get off track.
Listen. So this is what I'm gonna do.
This feels like
We got
propaganda.
too many people
Let her finish.
that don't want to accept that sometimes, you know what? Everybody is gonna deal with things differently. My story is
We
not
agree
Pooh's
with that,
story.
Puka.
Okay, so
we agree with that.
so if I feel like people should make sure in certain situations try to put yourself in a position to help your fellow person up. Because here's the thing: if I stay here and you stay here,
We can't help each other.
We can't help each
Puka,
other.
we agree on
so
that.
I position myself to say, you know what? I want to be. I'm in the. I want to be. I don't know. I want to be a director for a company. Once I get to that position, I can help you. But as long as I'm a rep myself, I can't help you. I'm
we
no good to
agree
you.
that.
So that's all that I was saying. You know, talking about, well, when you were a child, this person poured into your life, so you obligated to do this right now.
You are.
I'm not obligated. You are. I'm obligated.
He's not.
Absolutely
Listen, guys,
not.
listen.
Because I have
Gotta
other
give
stuff
back.
going on in my life.
You gotta get back, bro. Now, Puka, I was with you right up until now.
That obligates me.
Yes. I was with you right up into there.
Does not obligate me.
Hold on.
Everything you
hold on,
said, I was
obligate
with
me.
you right up into there. Yes, you got to get
Hold
back.
on. So you saying
Obligated.
Because if
Hold on,
Dr.
hold
J
on.
didn't reach back and help MJ and Michael Cooper, then how the hell we were supposed to get
So
LeBron?
how you telling me that? So nobody helped you get out?
Okay,
no, you
again,
gotta talk
again,
to
Who said y'all only get
hold
help?
on,
you're twisting words.
No, I'm not. I'm
And
asking you a
I'm-
question.
okay.
I'm asking you a question. Nobody helped you along the way.
Yes or no?
That's not what I'm saying.
Yes or no?
Yes or no? Nobody helped you along the way.
Absolutely.
No, he's saying, listen, hold on. He's saying yes, that people helped him. What he is saying
you're not
is
obligated.
he's not obligated to help somebody else just because somebody helped him. And we disagree there.
That doesn't mean, again,
Did you read the Bible? You read the Bible?
that doesn't mean
You read the Bible?
we read the Bible right now, but we're doing something that the Bible say don't do. So let's not get biblical.
We're having a conversation.
Don't
But we-
deflect. Don't deflect. Answer the question.
We're having a conversation. I'm asking you a question. No, so you're telling me
It doesn't obligate anybody to do anything.
Can you tell
Wrong,
us why?
bro.
Can
It
you
doesn't-
tell us
you're
why?
wrong.
The right thing to do. So she has a great question.
Just can you tell us why it doesn't obligate you to
Okay.
reach back and help?
Okay, so here's why I feel like no.
Hold on. I
Okay.
gotta cut you off. Puka, all I can say is, man, I hope you're never in a situation where you
That
need-
doesn't mean that I won't.
Hold on,
That doesn't
hold
mean
on.
that I won't help. See, you twisting.
Okay, so you're saying you will help, you just don't feel obligated.
Exactly.
Okay,
That's
okay,
all I'm saying.
okay.
So you get what I'm saying.
I get what you're saying.
I'm not
I don't
saying that
agree,
I
but I
won't
get what
help.
you're saying.
Okay.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
So you're saying
yeah,
you
now
will
what you
help.
say,
No,
will
I get what you're saying. I don't agree, but I get
So
what
we
you're saying.
got your stand
I'm
on
not
it.
So he's saying he
You're not
will
obligated.
help,
You're not
but
obligated.
don't make him feel like this
Right,
needs to
okay.
be bread and butter, like he's obligated. No, I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
So that's your position, right?
Absolutely.
I get it.
Okay, so let me tell you my position.
I get it. I don't agree, but I get it.
Let me tell you my position. Being raised in Mount Dora, being raised in Lake County, I'm obligated to give back to everything in this community. Man, that's just silly.
Is it the word
I
obligated that's
don't-
throwing you off?
Man, it's no way
Puka.
in the world. How can you feel? How can you not feel
Puka, is
obligated?
it the word obligated that's throwing you off?
That's
But
what
okay.
bothers me.
But that was the question though. Why
I'm open-minded enough to understand what he's saying. Yeah.
So why don't you feel obligated?
Period. I want to know that question too.
So here's why I don't feel obligated.
Okay.
I feel that when someone does something, it should be done out of the kindness of their heart.
Doors of the church are open. Okay.
Because I could be obligated to you all to do something, but my circumstances personally doesn't allow me to do that.
Okay.
So to make me feel obligated, I think that's just the wrong approach.
So
to
you're
take.
saying in your heart you may want to,
In my heart,
but your
You're
life
not
and your
able
time
to.
may not permit.
I
so.
give you a prime example.
Okay, I can agree
I
with
may
that.
feel
Okay.
that, you know what, Cedric owns.
There's a few people I want to reach back and grab, but I
Cedric
couldn't.
owns
I
his
couldn't
own business.
Okay.
I think he has the funds, so he's obligated to pay their tuition, so they don't wind up a statistic. That's wrong for me to make him feel that way, because he has a whole family to take care of.
Okay.
So what people don't know about me, I've been fighting the system for the longest to make sure I'm not an absent father. Hold on,
money is
hold
not the
because
only thing you need.
No, hold on, Cedric. Let him talk because I think I understand
this
what
is
he's
personal for
trying
me.
to
Yeah,
say.
go ahead.
For the last 4 or 5
$60 in
years,
this crime
I've been
well bad.
in and out
Unlike
of the
most
court
of you
system
niggas.
fighting for my children. So if I gave that time, I wouldn't have the 50-50 custody that I have with my daughter. I wouldn't have the time where I'm having to go to schools and having to actually have people help me be able to see my son because the mother's hiding them from me. So when you say I'm obligated to something, no, I'm obligated to my children.
Kids,
Because
okay.
if I give my time to other people's children and I'm not spending time with my own children, I'm a deadbeat dad at that point.
Okay, hold on. I get what he's trying to say. Hold on.
I
Hold
think
I'm gonna let you talk.
I think he
I'm
was
gonna say
saying-
this, and I'm gonna let everybody else speak. You brought that up about people being there for their own kids. Right?
so good.
Now, I had this conversation with a young man who was standing in Walmart in the aisle, and he assured me that his son was fine. His son was going to be all right. His son had everything he needed. His son was going to be in the right school. His son is going to the Bible school. He's not going to be around these thugs and troublemakers and all this here.
Right.
And my question to him was, what about the ones that don't have that privilege?
He don't care about them.
Hold on. I ain't saying he don't care. But
That's what it sounds like. That's what it sounds like.
But what about if I only now listen, if I only gave a damn about my son, What difference am I making in the community?
So let me ask you this
Hold on,
question.
hold on,
Let me
hold
ask
on.
you- Now you asked me
I
questions.
asked you a question. though.
Okay.
You didn't answer my
Okay.
question.
Okay.
If I'm only concerned about my kids and my son, I know what I got to do as a man at my house. I know what I got to do for my kids. I know what I have to go to work and provide and for my house. But outside of that, what am I doing to help somebody that's less fortunate? What am I doing to make sure that not only Cedric Jr. gets out, that Jamar gets out, that little Evan gets out, that little Rashad gets out? Not only did I look at, I'm gonna give you a perfect example of that. Anthony Fields.
Absolutely.
His son is signed, sealed, and going to college, right? How many other kids is he helping and pushing, man?
Okay.
That's what we're talking about.
So you're asking me a question.
That's what we're talking
Okay.
about.
So you're asking me. So let me answer
We're
your
not
question.
saying, but hold on, we're not saying, get the full question. We're not saying you shouldn't be concerned about your kids. Right? Hold on, pay attention to me now.
Focus.
We're not saying that you shouldn't be concerned about your kids. That's first priority.
Okay.
But go the extra mile to help somebody else. It only take one, bro. It only take one. You're not obligated to help anybody.
Okay.
I understand what you're saying about that, but
So look at my other one.
as a man, as a heart, and you come from a bad
I
situation.
know I paid for 2 drinks.
You a Jim. You a Jim. Puka, when I coached you, you never had any expectations of going to college.
You didn't.
Never. Never. I can name 20 of y'all
He was just trying
that
to
I've
get
coached over the
away
years
from his
that
past
I
and
never
be successful
thought.
myself.
I'm gonna call his name, Johnny
I
Worthy.
remember Puka.
Johnny Worthy.
his name called?
Never talking about hated school.
Y'all do this. He was like
Right.
the same.
Hated school.
I
Slept
remember
in every
Rashad.
class.
I remember.
I coached him. Was lazy in practice. He just got his degree.
He was just trying to get a fuck away
Never
from
in my
him. He didn't
life
care
thought
what he was
that boy
going.
was going to college and
Right.
do anything.
I
I didn't say
remember.
anything.
Oh, this
Never
is
thought he'd
still
have a college
shit
degree
big.
because he hated school. Puka, when I
Don't
coached
like
you,
thick juice.
everything somebody said to you, you had something to say back.
He
Sure,
did.
absolutely.
Facts.
Hothead.
Facts.
Listen, but you had to grow up.
Facts.
You grew up. College helped that. If you stayed here, you'd be in prison.
Oh,
Facts.
so there we go. Stop. So
You just said it. You ended.
So-
you just said it yourself.
So it
He
is.
lied.
You just said it yourself.
So it is important for us to leave the hood.
No.
Listen,
To get an experience,
she
yes.
She
said
said if I wouldn't have stayed here,
She said
my
it saved. She
situation
said it
would've been
saved your
different.
life.
For
right?
you.
Yeah, to get an experience,
Okay,
yes.
So each situation is different, right?
To get an experience, yes.
We're not
So I'm not obligated because my situation
we're
is
not.
No, that's where we disagree.
Yeah, no, I disagree. You are obligated because you know why?
So I am obligated.
You know why? Because not only are you obligated as a black man to raise your family,
You obligated as a young man that made it out
you're
regardless of
able
what
as a
your race
black
is.
man to help somebody do better.
Let me tell you this.
Yes, you are. You are obligated as a black man to help somebody besides your kids.
Rashad, do you got this? Let me tell y'all this.
No, I want to say something.
Go ahead.
So here's where we have more and more issues. So I'm obligated to help another young black man.
Yes, you are.
Everybody is not just you.
But I can,
We don't
hold
want
on,
people
hold
helping
on.
us.
So
We
I
don't
can
want
say,
that in the hood.
so
No.
here's
Stay
where
on
I have a
that side.
problem with it. But I'm not obligated to help that little white boy that made it.
Yes.
I said,
Any child.
No, hold on.
Yes.
Hold on,
Now
hold on,
I agree
hold
with
on,
that.
hold on.
Any child.
Hold on.
Any child.
Not only do, when I coach you, was it an all black team?
No.
No.
But you
Any
said I'm
child.
obligated to help the little white.
No, that's not what he said. That's not what he said,
No, I
Puka.
didn't.
Now,
I
I was
said
with you
somebody
until there. That's
besides
not what he
your kids.
You
said.
said black.
He said you're
No,
obligated
you
to
said-
reach
you
back
probably
and help
didn't
someone
mean
in the
it. You probably
hood.
didn't mean
You
it.
interpret the hood as black, and that's a part of the problem. He never said black. He said hood. He did say hood.
Okay.
Rephrase it, bro.
Hold on. I'll rephrase it.
Okay.
You're obligated to help someone get out.
Facts.
Help someone.
Facts.
I don't care who it is. They can be
Facts.
green. They can be green.
It doesn't matter.
Somebody helped
Somebody.
you.
Facts.
Not everybody helped you was black.
Absolutely.
Okay,
Facts.
so you're not
Facts.
obligated to only help black people. You're
Facts.
obligated to help somebody.
Anybody.
Somebody.
Anybody. You reach back and grab anybody
So
and pull
if you
them up.
if you ask me a
can.
question,
Right here.
if you ask me a
Yeah.
question, are you obligated? Yes.
Yes.
And
So
I
grab
said, this is what I
anybody
said.
and pull them up.
This is what I said. I said as a black man, you're obligated.
Yes.
So okay, so here's where again, guys, I have an issue. So what if I was a white man? Are they obligated?
Yes.
Somebody help them get out.
Yes.
So,
But you know what? So hold on. But you know what?
so as men,
Hold on, y'all.
Hold on. I'm gonna tell you the
we have
difference.
to be careful
I'm gonna tell you the
about
difference.
what we say because you say as a black
I'm
man.
gonna tell you the difference. I'm gonna tell you the difference.
They already know they supposed to help.
Exactly. They
We trying to
always
make
wanna
you
know.
understand you supposed to
They
help.
You know, they
They already know.
Why you think you can't get the job in the
Rashad,
corporate the other man
Rashad.
can get?
Oh, so we say
You gonna
black
give it to his
first.
friend.
Okay.
Oh, well,
Wow.
That's
No, that's what they said. We didn't say that.
But
It
look,
say
but
black
listen,
first.
listen.
No, I didn't say
You know,
that.
you know, and I'll tell you the
Any
difference. now.
child.
I'll tell you the difference. We just had this conversation at my dad's shop last week. Some white people that I grew up with, they had a leg up. Just go to school. Just go to college. Just graduate high school.
Right.
I'll give you this. I'll give you $80,000. I'll give you this. They
Yeah,
had a
we
leg
definitely
up.
didn't have
We don't
that.
have that. We don't have that. You went to school. You made a better life for yourself, right? Am I wrong?
No,
You
you're
went
right.
to school.
Yeah, absolutely.
But when you went to school, you were green.
Right.
You were angry with everybody that said something to you.
You didn't know.
Man, listen, I was on the field with you. I know.
Absolutely.
I know. So you can't fool me. You can't fool me.
Some things I'm not gonna
Man,
refuse.
you can't refuse that with me.
There you go.
Okay.
You every time somebody said something to you, you argue with me.
Right.
I was your position coach.
Right.
Rashad,
Man,
you
I'm.
forgot what
Hold on,
you
hold on.
No,
hold
he
on.
didn't.
No,
I don't
no,
think he
no,
did.
I ain't saying
No.
that.
He can't. His mama still stay right there.
I'ma give you
How
my-
can he forget?
Hold on. I'm gonna give you
No,
prime
like he
example.
can't
I'm gonna give you a prime
forget.
example.
No,
You may not remember
he
this.
forgot.
You may not remember this. You would get tired. You would get tired on the field, right?
Okay.
Your first thing would do was throw your hand up. You coming out the game. What would I always tell you?
Stay in.
Tough it out.
Tough it
Stay
out.
in.
Tracks.
Next couple of plays, you go for 80 yards.
Break it. Yeah.
Tough it out. When you went to college, how many times you want to come home?
Oh, I ain't want to stay.
Oh yeah, every 2 weeks.
But you toughed it out.
I even heard
so
those
something,
stories.
But listen, me telling you to stay on that field, you may not see it then, but it helped you.
Absolutely.
You know what?
Absolutely.
I pushed you to your limit.
Right.
I ain't saying I'm taking credit for you going to get a
No,
degree.
I
none of
get what
that.
you're saying.
But something I did pushed you.
So Puka,
So something you can say to a white kid, a black kid.
anybody.
I like that. Because I
Puka.
like
So
black
listen,
and
this is
white
what I'm saying to you.
But listen,
When I was coming up through,
listen, man, some of dudes, I will let it was.
For the record, I like white people, black people.
it doesn't matter.
Okay.
So here's what I'm saying. Wait, hold on. So here's what I'm saying. When I was in high school and I was talking to my math teacher, right? Okay, so anybody who knows me knows I take classes for other people who are in college, right? And I do it for a small fee. I ain't gonna put nobody's name out.
I'm just saying you want to put that on.
Yes, I'm gonna put that out there. What you mean?
Advertisement.
Yes, I'm gonna put that out. What you mean? So I take classes for people who struggle through math and English or whatever, because those are my strong suits, right? So when I was in high school,
Is that helping them?
it does.
That's helping them?
I'm gonna tell you why I help
wow,
them
okay.
after I'm done. Okay, because you think it's just black. It's not. Believe it or not.
Huh, no.
Because most black people, believe it or not, can afford my fee. It's white folks to pay my $400 fee. Believe it or not. Let's talk about that. Okay, so yeah, because I charge $400 off the rip, and believe it or not, it's your Anglo-Saxons that pay it with no
my
argument.
Anglo-Saxons.
Yeah. Okay, no, but I was
I
joking
know,
at it.
I got you.
Okay, but I said that to say this. When I was in high school, I was very gifted in math, right? And there was a math teacher who came along. Her name was Miss Crawlett. She was my pre-algebra teacher.
His name dropping.
No, because she was a
good.
no.
She did good.
It's a positive thing though,
Yeah.
because she was a. When I tell you, it didn't matter what you was, blue, purple, whatever. If you was doing bad, you need to come to my class after class every school day, and we gonna work on this subject. And if you was doing good, this is your certificate. Miss Crawlett didn't care. She only cared about your grade, right? I had her in 7th grade. That was the first time I ever met her. Was in 7th grade. That was pre-algebra. The second time I met her was my algebra 2 teacher in high school. She ended up getting a freaking promotion, and she ended up being my algebra 2 teacher in high school. So I saw her again. I'm like, man, she gonna give me hell because she know what I can do. You know what I'm saying? She know who all's weak in math because she taught us the foundation for math. Like, she didn't play. She didn't care what you was. Blue, white, whatever. This is what my homework is. You do the homework or you don't. And this is what I require. So I say that to say this. When it came time for me to graduate, Miss Crawlett recognized me as a young child who was growing up, less fortunate, you know what I mean? But I was really smart. I was really gifted, and she knew I had limited options when it came to, you know what I mean, you either make this choice or make this choice, whatever. So she was like, I think you need to join the military. I had a brother who was in the Army. I think you need to do this. So she, back then, this is how you know it's old. She burns me a CD. This is how you know it's old. She burns me a CD. There was 2 songs on the CD. The first song on the CD was Wide Open Spaces by Dixie Chicks. I'd never heard of this group in my life. But I'm like, what the fuck is this? The
That's
second,
an Anglo-Saxon song.
right.
Yeah.
To be clear, Dixie Chicks is an all-white female group, right? So I'm like, me, check out the hood. I'm like, what the hell is this? But the second song was like, I don't even remember what the second song was. I only ever listened to the first one. Now, keep in mind, back then I took a bus to basic training because at this point I had decided to join the Army. I took a bus to basic training. The bus was like 9.5, maybe 10 hours. I took a bus to basic training. I listened to the CD she gave me. It's Wide Open Spaces by Dixie Chicks. I'm like, what the fuck is this? But it ends up being this inspirational song about, like, you know, a young girl who grew up with nothing and, like, you know, you have a tough decision to make and, you know, you can either make this choice and make this choice, and it ended up resonating with me. To this day, I turned 35 last Thursday. I still reach out to Miss Carlick every chance I get, like, you know, you were motivated. Miss Carlick is a white woman. So I said that to say it doesn't matter. When we use terms like obligated, it doesn't mean obligated by skin color. It doesn't mean obligated by your neighborhood or your race or whatever.
Status or anything like that.
Bingo. It means obligated based on your position.
Right.
Because what I found out as being an adult, Miss Carlick was a young lady who grew up without a lot. You know what I mean? And although she was white, us in the hood, we're being taught that white people, they grow up with privilege. So we're being taught automatically because she's white, oh, your parents probably rich, you grew up in da-da-da-da, and that's not the case. She grew up without. So she resonated with me because I was growing up without, and she saw herself in me. So she reached out to me, and she had formed a relationship with me. So when we say terms like obligated and things like that, we don't mean because you're black. So we want you to take that away from that. When we say obligated, we mean recognize a child that is you 10, 15, 20 years ago. Pick that child up and say, hey, it don't matter if they're Asian, white, black, whatever. Doesn't matter.
Okay.
Pick that child up and say, hey, this is the child that I would have been had somebody not grabbed me and said, hey, you could be better. And take that child on. And that's all I'm saying. In my life, it was Miss Carlick. She was my math teacher. She started off as my middle school math teacher, ended up being my high school algebra 2 teacher. And I said that to say, you take that person and say, hey, I was black. I was a young black ghetto kid to her. You know what I'm saying?
I think everybody
And
has
the
that
crazy
person.
part is,
Everybody has
I was
that
getting
person.
suspended every 2-3
I have
weeks.
several.
I couldn't act right to save my life, but she saw better in me. You know, she saw something in me that said, you're hindering yourself from your progress. This is what you could be doing, and this is what you are doing. You could be doing better. Remember Mr. Wood? Remember
Frank Wood.
Hey,
Come
man,
on now.
Hey, man, Mr. Wood.
Economic-
You can't go through Mount
teacher.
Daughter. I'm in Frank Wood. Frank Wood didn't care if you was Indian, white,
Maybe
black.
y'all- I had a
If
different
acting a fool in my
experience.
class, come on now. This is what I got to say to you,
Thank
and
you.
you gonna act right.
Can I speak?
Yeah,
Come
go
on.
ahead, go ahead.
Go ahead.
Okay, as they said, they feel like you're not obligated as a black man. I'm sorry. Me personally, I'm gonna
When
help
you're not.
the black people first because we are the ones that are in the most need. Do you ever see Chinese people? You think Chinese don't help Chinese first? You think Arabs don't help Arabs first?
Right, facts.
So all this where we as black people, oh, we gotta go. I'm not saying, now listen, I'm not saying don't help white people, don't help nobody. But black is first. Black have to take care of black. Okay? I'm not Martin, I'm not Malcolm, I'm more of a Marcus Garvey type of guy.
Okay.
So me personally, I would rather us
Somebody
build our
tagging me.
own
Oh, your
infrastructure,
wife.
our own Black Wall Street, and if possible one day repatriate and go back. Because as long as we're over here, it's gonna only be one thing.
Okay.
But for you to sit there and think like we don't have to take care of black better take care of black.
You better, because nobody else taking care of us.
Because ain't no, that single-handedly is the problem. Black people feeling wrong for doing something that every other nation did. Irish take care of Irish.
Facts.
Italians take care of Italians.
Jews take care of Jews.
Jews take care of
That's a
Jews.
fact.
But with
That's a
blacks,
fact.
oh, we have to help everybody.
Yeah.
Even though we the ones we already know adolescents. We talk about it's not white privilege. It is white privilege. The lowest white person in Bassville right now can clean up and look like something, and a person might not think nothing. But we can't watch this black off.
Facts.
Okay? So it don't matter if you got $1 million, if you OJ, you see what they did to him. Kanye, you see what they did to him. So all y'all that think
But Kanye is a billionaire now,
you see
so
how
he
rude
don't
these guys are? Do you
he
see
don't
how
matter.
rude this is? Now you see how I sat there for so long.
He did.
You
Now,
feel
in
me?
his defense,
it's
Booker,
a-
he
You
was
feel me?
quiet.
You see,
White.
but these are the people who's supposed to be
It's a-
intellectual or such a good person, but they can't even control themselves enough and have a mindset to sit back and control themselves and to wait to speak, just like I wait to speak for 30 minutes.
Yeah, he
Okay, so all I'm saying is black people, take care of black people first. Don't feel bad for taking care of black people first.
Don't.
Who else gonna take care of us
agree
if
with
we
that.
don't? If the black people who make it out of the community
They coming up.
don't come back
I
and
can see
don't
the
come
people
help
tagging
us,
me. I can see.
what we gonna do? That's what we as black people have to get out of that
I can
mentality
see
of
them,
thinking
people
we
tagging me.
always wrong.
Nikita,
We
Nikita,
not
I can
wrong
see
for
it.
helping our brother. We is not wrong for helping our brother.
At all. And I don't
First,
feel bad.
I'm not saying that you see a white man in the gutter, you gonna kick him or nothing
He's
like
been
that.
tagging me for
But
like 30 minutes.
First quarter,
Chad Forster or
first
something?
quarter, I'm gonna help
He's
the
been
black
tagging me
man.
for like an hour.
Okay, that's what I'm gonna do. I'm not saying I'm not gonna help
Invite
black
him
people.
up
I will, but you better believe where I start and what our first mission is to help the black community, the community in which I come from. Okay, so all that where they talking about black people don't necessarily have to look out. Yes, yeah, you do. Yeah, you do. That's the right. Look at LeBron James. You think? Come on, how that man come back? He got M's. He come back. Look how he do. He don't. You know what I mean? He's coming back. He's helping. I'm just saying. So, okay, we'll talk about Courtney
So
Keith.
many people have
Just like I
talked.
said, Wesley Green. These are people who on the level who just like you, who are college graduates, just like you, who got families just like you.
Why are you attacking me?
I'm not saying you. Okay,
Why you
people-
put
but
that
I know
drink
it.
on my
I'm
side?
saying you. I'm saying you because I'm saying
He
you.
put the drink on my side
Look,
table.
bro. For one, I'm not pro-black. I'm pro who with us. So every brother ain't a brother. Always remember that. Every brother ain't a brother. Okay. Every brother ain't a brother. Everybody who just black, they ain't right.
You got to define that, man.
Okay, everybody who is of this skin color is not with the black agenda, seeing black people move forward and progress. It's some black people who are just here and just want to,
So the crabs in the barrel.
not even the crabs in the barrel because they worse.
I don't agree with.
Them
I
might
agree with that, but I don't
farm
think
out.
Booker
Them might
fits
farm
that
out. Them
narrative.
must. They listen. When the real go down,
He's saying
them the
some of
first
y'all's
ones that we
business.
got to get out.
White
We don't
men.
gotta worry about the white people coming or the Asians. Or
I agree
whoever
with
else.
that. I just
We
don't
gotta
think Booker
get
fits that
those
narrative.
black people who act
I
like they
did-
really black
I don't
and
think you
really
do.
act like they down
I'll
for
tell
the
you to your
agenda
face, I don't think you do.
of black people because we gotta know as black people. If you
It's your
know, if
move,
you
you
think
playing
it ain't no
chess.
agenda as a black person, you lost right now in 2020.
See, that's the only way
If
you
you
win.
can't see it, you not with us. That's why I say for our brother and I
Checkmate.
love brother. And I have friends just like that. I don't expect them to do certain stuff that they not cut from that cloth. That's not their cloth. They don't do that. That ain't never been them. So I can't ask that for somebody to do that. To be like me. Just like you say
Yes,
when
when
you went
people
to high
comment
school,
on
there
this
was a
shit.
white teacher
Is it?
helped you. I don't really
Crazy
remember too many
Buka.
white teachers helping me.
People is coming tagging me.
Yeah,
I'm like,
because it's me. Because guess what? My first conference, my first time seeing white people was always in a bad light. I didn't see white people never
child,
looked at me
I
and said,
cannot.
"Hey, that black,
Child.
well, you know what I mean? Oh, he can play. I never played football real good. Sid. You know that? I wasn't the guy that they looked at and say, "Hey, he's an athlete. I can
Mark
get
Robb
him,
was.
I can get him to sit under me."
brother.
And we'll look. I wasn't never that. And you know, I wasn't
That's
gonna do
a
that.
fact.
I wasn't never
Mark
gonna
Robb
shoot the
was.
job. I wasn't never.
Until
gonna do
they
that.
realized
So
that
we
he
can't
wasn't the
get
push
mad
button
at
nigga they
people
thought
who
he
don't
was.
do this, guys. We as black people gotta understand who really rocking with us, and us people have to get together,
Why's my
not
hair nappy?
together and start no shooting and all that because we don't have
What they
enough
say? They said
guns to
something
fight
crazy?
white people. We gotta get our money
What is that? Let me see.
and put our money together, spend it with people instead of going to McDonald's, shot with Slump, shot with Stephen Lewis, shot with Peachy.
That's when we started.
Okay, this is where we start. Money rulers, they always talking about politics. If they don't even understand how politics work. If you don't have no money to give to that politician, he don't care about you, bro.
Okay, I agree
So
with
this
that,
is why
boss.
black people, we still stuck in the same thing because we steady telling people, go vote. What Obama did for y'all?
Nothing besides gave us a stimulus check.
Huh? What Obama did for y'all? This what y'all gotta understand, man. Every brother is
I put
not
too
a
much
brother.
juice.
That's what it
He
is.
gave us a stimulus check.
Whoever else
And
wanna
I
vote
will
for
say,
Trump.
as an active duty military, Obama was actually the worst commander-in-chief we ever had. Let's just be clear. And I'm just speaking, hold on, I'm just speaking from a strictly military standpoint. Obama was actually the worst commander-in-chief we ever had. Like, let's be clear. Like, I love me some Obama. And let's be clear, I only voted for him because he was black. Because power to the people. Facts.
That's why most of them is.
Yeah, facts.
Why is this the problem? Why do
Yeah, okay, facts. Hold on, wait. I'm talking, y'all. I voted for him. Listen, because white people have been keeping up nepotism for years. And if
I said that.
yeah, I was the first person to say it out loud. That's all that was. It was
only
It was
only
6
voted
point.
for Obama because he black.
Okay, talk that shit, Puka.
But
I'm
Hey.
asking.
But the only reason, hold
Talk
on,
that shit,
other reason
Puka.
that the others vote. I'm not saying white, black. The other reason the others vote for.
You
them
think they
because
voted for George Bush because he was dope? His daddy was the leader of the fucking CIA. You think they voted for him because he was a great politician? No, they voted for him because he was fucking white.
But you made a comment. You made a
You gonna
comment.
give me my shit back? I do know that.
You're cut off.
You can't. Hold on, but you can't make a comment and then shut everybody down.
Right.
You.
No, I just asked.
But you're right. I told you. The only reason I voted for.
Obama country.
Let me turn the camera around on me.
Black.
Camera around on me.
Every brother and
They got me
brother.
on because they scared. They don't want to
Listen,
say what
but I
they
can
scared
say-
to say.
I can
I'm
say
gonna
what
say
I'm
that down. I'm gonna say what they scared to say.
If the reason that certain white people didn't vote for him because he was black.
Amen.
So you saying I'm wrong because I
still
said
in
I
it.
voted for him because he was black.
No, I'm not saying that you're wrong.
You only got.
I'm saying
In the history, hold on,
I didn't vote then.
Rashad. Whoa, wait a minute. So you said I'm wrong for voting for him because he was black, but you didn't even vote.
Okay, so hold on. Again, don't never judge unless you know circumstances.
But you just judged me.
So, no, I didn't. I wouldn't say that out loud. Here's what I feel about saying that. Hold on,
You just did the same thing to me.
relax, and I'm gonna end it at this. I feel like if you don't know enough about the people that are running in each party, you're doing a disservice. So just vote for somebody because they black. And to say that out loud is just
How many
it just
years?
doesn't make sense to me.
How many years have people voted for somebody because they were white, but just because
They all been white, so it really
or because they were Republican?
They all been white.
Hold on. Right. So why am I wrong for saying, yeah, man, we had one black president that had a chance, and I voted for him.
Okay, so let me ask you
I
this.
want to see the first black president in the history of America.
Okay, so let me ask you
I
this.
want to be able to tell my kids that we had one black president.
Okay, so here's my problem with you saying that. You're telling me that he could have been the wrong candidate. He could have had all of the wrong. Hold on, he could have had all. Hold on.
wasn't.
This you have to listen to what I'm saying. He could have all the wrong tools to be a president. He could be unfit. He can have all the wrong beliefs, but because he black, you gonna vote for him.
That's the same thing they do.
Oh my God, that's mind blowing. Oh God.
But see, whites do the same thing that
I-
you do
I-
right
I'm not-
now,
I
which is
get
why
it.
we said when you do that, you give them so much more power.
It don't make
they
sense to
feel
me, though.
so good to hear
Right.
a black man
Y'all
say
get
something
y'all
like
get
that.
your oil.
That's crazy.
The only
Listen,
thing.
they say they voted for Obama just because he black. It's some shit you don't
How
say
about-
out loud.
how are you
You can
supposed
do that.
But, Rashad,
You
as
don't say that
hold on,
again.
Rashad.
That's
I ain't gonna call you Puka.
Yeah,
I'm gonna call you Rashad.
I like your podcast.
That's no.
I'm watching it, but
Hold on.
Say
That's
that
no
man
different.
can't draw down the street because he got on fucking pants right now.
That's no different. That's no different from you
Yeah,
saying.
you don't tell me to change my plans.
Oh, I'm just chilling. I'm enjoying this show.
It's my
Oh,
job.
you was fucking
If I vote, hold on, everybody, hold on. If I can sit here and as a man and sit on my own 2 feet and say, yeah, that's the reason why I voted for him. I want to see a black man actually be president and be able to tell my kids, my grandkids that, yeah, we had a black president once.
Even if he unfit.
But how many?
Even if he unfit for the job.
Hold on.
I want you to answer that question.
We have one that's unfit now.
They all not gonna be perfect.
Right. So
I'm not saying I like him or not.
You're missing the
How much do we actually know about each individual to make an educated
You're
vote?
saying there's some things that shouldn't be said out loud. But
It's just some things you just don't
I'm a
say.
grown man. If I can stand on, hold on. If I can sit, hold on. If I can do something, I throw a rock and I hide my hand. Right? Everything I do, I can own up to. I can stand on camera and Facebook and say, yeah. We had a black man was in the position to be the president.
Let's put both of us in this. No, I wanna.
To be in the position to be the president of the nation. Okay. Now, Puka, you know we'll never have another one, right?
Right.
How can I say I don't know? How can I say that won't happen?
In our lifetime.
How can I say that I 100% know that? Can I say that?
Okay, let me ask you. Do you feel in our lifetime? Hold on. Do you feel in our lifetime that we'll have another one?
I feel like it's far fetched for that to happen.
Okay, so the opportunity for us to have a real team,
Why? What happened?
and I say, man, I ain't gonna vote for him, man, because man, he might not say all the right things. But was he the worst?
Again, okay. So let me answer. Let me. You can't ask me a question and answer it for me.
I didn't answer. I'm asking you a question.
Okay, so I'm telling you.
Was he the worst candidate?
Listen to me. I'm telling you that it sounds like you nor me have enough concrete information about each individual to make an educated vote.
He did 2 terms. He did.
Doesn't
Hold on.
matter.
Yes, we do. Because he doesn't matter. He did 2 terms.
We're saying that we voted for him. That's like
No, I'm saying that.
Okay,
You're not saying
okay,
that.
so this is
you said you didn't vote.
Okay, so this is what it
You
sounds.
said you didn't vote, right?
But this is what it sounds
But-
like. You sound just like the police that pull you over just because you black.
Okay, and maybe, but you still haven't.
That's what you
but
sound
you still
like.
haven't answered my
I
question.
voted for because he's black, and I pulled him over because he's
But you
black.
still haven't answered my question.
What is your question?
He did 8 years.
You just had one of the people that is agreeing with
Why
you.
didn't you vote?
Saying, to be honest, because by the time I got there several times, I was getting off work late. Sometimes I was working till 8 o'clock.
So it wasn't your
I
intention
should
not
be-
to vote.
You know what? When you take something very serious, you make time. So I can't say it wasn't my intention. It was lazy.
He did that.
It was lazy.
Okay, so laziness. But
Absolutely.
you saying I'm wrong for saying I voted for him because he was
I think.
okay,
But
but
I'm gonna say this with the utmost respect. I think saying that you voted for a president just because he's black is just ignorant.
it's ignorant. Okay, I accept that.
It's
And
just-
I
just don't make sense.
understand that. But to say, but to say that I didn't vote because I was lazy is just as ignorant as me.
No.
Man, come on,
I
man.
just told you, even if I did have enough time to
So
vote.
you too lazy to take time out. Hold on.
Is Chad talking about who?
No,
Said
Obama.
Hold on. No.
He
Man,
said Obama.
listen, we can't talk about Chad. We can't talk about Chad. But this, hold on. He just telling me we having a real discussion here. He said that it's ignorant for me to say I voted for him because he was black. But you didn't take the time out to get the knowledge or to even figure out if he was the right candidate. But you said I'm wrong because I voted for him because he was black. That doesn't mean that I didn't do my homework. But my main reason was because I want to see a black president.
Okay, so let me ask you a
But
question.
you didn't vote.
So let me ask you a
You didn't
question.
vote. And you said why did you say you
I'm
didn't
saying
vote?
that right now. So here's what I'm saying. I would feel like I would be doing the state, the country a disservice to make an uneducated decision without basic facts. That is just like the judges that y'all talking about that are sending people to judge without facts.
But you just said.
It's just
we
we don't like certain
You
things.
contradicted yourself because you just said you were too lazy to vote.
Right, but even if I had time to, I don't know enough about each candidate.
How do you make time? How do you not make time to vote?
The same
Unless
way
you
people
like
don't
me
make
and
time to
just
vote.
don't
All the people that got
That's like
hold
saying you
on.
gain weight. How you don't make time to work out?
All the people that got killed
for your right.
and beaten and all this to vote, and you don't make you get on camera and say, I was too lazy. I ain't take time to vote.
But you know what? That is
There was a point in time we couldn't vote.
no. When I say laziness, because you know what? I may not have had time to make it before the polls close, but there's all types of ways to actually vote. So when I say laziness, that's saying, you know what, I don't have this avenue, but there is this option to do
why
it.
didn't you
So that's
take
what I
it?
mean.
Why didn't you take
Again, just not. Even if I had time, I don't have enough information on each individual to make an educated vote.
Why do you not take time to do it?
Why do you not take time to vote for somebody other than just because they're black?
But I just told you. It doesn't mean I didn't do my homework.
So what did you like about Obama? Tell me one thing you liked about Obama. Hold on. Shh. What did you like about Obama?
I like the surface of his conversation where
You like the way he talked.
no. Hell, all of them talk good.
Okay, tell me what you like
All
about
of them talk good.
Tell me what you like
All
about
of them
Obama.
lied.
Tell me what you like about Obama.
I like that he was gonna come in and try. the same as others.
Okay.
Try to make it
And he
happen.
was balling like an
He didn't do anything.
No,
So that's so you give me a general idea of why you like Obama.
Right.
Trump said the same thing. You don't like him. It's because he's white.
No, I didn't say you didn't like him. I didn't, when did I say that?
Do you like Trump?
What? I think.
I want you to answer the question, sir.
do I like Trump?
It's funny.
I've not liked any president.
But you like Obama because he's
No,
black.
I didn't say.
Oh my God!
I don't like none of them.
You just say you don't like no president.
I don't vote.
Not once did I say. Not once did I say
I don't
I like
dislike
him.
Trump. I really don't. He's never done.
Did I say that?
Thank you. He's not like
Did I? Not once did I say I liked Obama.
I keep trying to move it away.
I'll explain it to you.
I
this
don't
way.
drink,
But
and I'm
still,
not doing it.
Tonight.
Man,
My folks are doing
you
this.
missing focus
What
on
man
what?
say?
Not one president.
He done sit back up.
I'm 42 years old. Not one president has made enough impact on my life that I can say, well, man, he was a bad president. He was a good president. He was a terrible president. Everybody talk about the Bushes and the Reagans and all this here.
Okay.
No, I ain't never had this.
What impact has a president made on your life?
Depends on who you ask that question.
I'm asking you.
To me, I don't think they've done anything to actually impact me
Okay,
directly.
but I'm wrong as a black man for saying that we had one time and maybe the history of this country have a black president. But I'm wrong and ignorant to say, yeah, man, I want to see one. I voted for one.
I think that doesn't make us any.
How many other people? I'm not saying whether they were white, black, Asian. Hold on. I'm not whether they were white, black, Asian, Chinese, whatever. That voted for, didn't vote for Obama because he was black. So,
yeah,
but I'm
I can
ignorant. But hold
understand
on.
that.
But
I
I'm
can
ignorant for voting for him because he was black. But what are the other people that voted for him didn't
because
vote
it,
for him
because
because
he's
he
black.
wasn't black?
I totally understand.
I'm gonna tell you a true story. True story.
And then
Guy
we
on
got
the elevator asked me, man, how you feel about Obama being president? This was during the election. I said, man, I'm always gonna vote for him because he's black.
When you say get
And he said the same thing you said. And I think that's an ignorant story. I said, but isn't that the same reason you not
a
voting?
lot of these little kids and trees.
Total silence the whole 30 seconds of the rest of the fight. But that makes my point. That makes my point. You wanna shoot me as being ignorant, but the same reason you not voting for him is it's the same reason.
Not me.
I'm not saying you. But I'm saying you called me ignorant for making that statement.
I think it is.
But the same reason millions of people didn't vote for him is because he was black.
And I agree with you. I totally understand.
So there's been white Democrats that I voted for. That don't make me ignorant, right?
So why you vote for Democrat and not Republican?
Because that's what, you know why? Because that's what I was raised.
Okay. Do you know the difference between the two?
I do.
Okay, what's the difference?
That it's a left side and the right side.
No, other than that, I want information. What's the difference?
Well, you tell me the difference.
I don't know the difference.
I don't know.
So I try
Enlighten
to
me.
make those kind of
Enlighten me.
decisions. I just told you I don't have enough information.
But I can only go.
I don't have enough information.
Right. So I can only go by what I've been taught, bro.
That's an
I can sit here and
excuse.
sit here and lie. It's not an excuse. I can only sit here and tell you what I've been taught.
Okay.
There's no line in that.
So let me ask you a question. Now this is important.
Were you raised as a Republican?
You know the first president.
If I go around your mom and dad, hold on.
I like Ronald Reagan. Was he Republican? He was Republican, right?
Republican.
I like Ronald Reagan. And you know why I like him?
You like Ronald Reagan?
I love Ronald Reagan.
That's what they call it, Reaganomics.
No, I like him because his name started with an R.
You know, hold on. You know how many people in prison right now?
Exactly. The war on drugs.
You said this as a grown man.
I'm saying that's what I like then. I say that's what I like then. I said as a child. You didn't hear me.
Like Reagan?
I was a kindergartner.
I'm gonna ask you a straightforward question now. Straightforward question. You just asked me. Hold on. You just asked me a question, and I want to ask you the same question. Do you like our president? Do you like what our president is doing for the country now?
You know what?
You notice I said our president, right? I didn't say they president. I didn't say the white people president. Because at the end of the day, he's our president. We live here.
Right, absolutely.
How do you feel about our president?
I think he could spend his time more being more effectively in actually being a president. I think he spent a lot of time doing things that are not very productive.
Now I want to say this to you, and I mean this with a whole heart. I'm gonna turn the camera to me. That's a bullshit answer.
You like
That's
it.
what. That is why.
That's a politically
That's
correct
the
answer.
politically
I understand your position, correct. When we turn these cameras off, I want you to give me a real answer. Hey, listen. We're gonna end this here, man. Now, everybody here that was on this panel, Miss Duncan,
Yes.
everybody here that was on this panel, we agree. Can we do this again?
Absolutely. We
No,
had
let
a
me tell you
wonderful
something.
time.
Hold on.
Come around here. Come around here.
Come
Let me say
Bob,
something.
come around here. Come around
No, we good.
Come around here.
So let me say this. I love me some Puka, right?
Everybody, no, come
I
around
think
here.
you
be
can.
seen. Come around here when you can be seen.
I'm gonna.
No, around here.
I'm about to. So you can fundamentally love someone, right, and disagree with them in principle. And I think with me and Rashad / Puka, right?
No, please, just Rashawn.
Okay, Rashad. Okay.
I'm surprised.
Almost called you something.
Okay, so okay, so I agree with him in certain things in principle, but fundamentally I disagree with him. But it doesn't mean that I hate him. It doesn't mean that I want people that follow me or are friends of mine or whatever to attack him.
And vice versa.
Right.
None of my
Yeah,
friends
like
to do
he's
that to
fine.
her.
He has the right to feel how he feels. I have the right to disagree. And that's all there is to it. Like, I don't agree with him fundamentally. I don't agree with his principles. I don't feel like he's right in his position. I feel like his position as a black man is very dangerous. I think it's dangerous as a community, and I think it's dangerous as a black man for him to put out that negative narrative. But you know, they're still my friend. Like, if he reaches out to me for advice, I'm still going to respond. I just choose to disagree with his principle.
What if he needs some money?
And I also
I ain't
think,
got none.
and this is my closing remarks. I think it's very.
You know, this is shit, Cedric.
Because his narcissism at its best.
Because this is shit, Cedric. That's why.
Go ahead.
So for me,
This your show, Cooper. Go ahead.
Being able to end on my note, I think that in order for us to make a real difference, she has to attack the problems from her angle.
We.
No, I'm getting to that.
We have
And,
to.
and for me, I need to attack the problems from the way that I see things fit.
Okay.
And I think from Cedric to Bob to Keena to everybody else, if we collectively do things as a team in our own special way, we can all make an impact on the things that we call issues. I'm not going to always agree with what she says. Have I learned something? This is a very great experience for me. I've learned a lot of different things from each individual that I didn't know before. Some things they may or may have enlightened me to think a little bit differently. And I hope something I've said has done the same thing. But I'm glad to be here. I would love to do this again, and I hope you guys got something good from it. And said, go ahead and do what you got to do.
Hey, Bob, Bob, you had the less camera time than everybody.
Shameless plug. Diego Works. Do some hats. Hats. All your custom apparel needs.
For the white and black people.
Oh,
Exactly.
shit.
Everybody. Hey, we don't care if it jingle or fold.
These are black hats only.
I want to
These are
read.
black hats only.
I want to read Derek DC Campbell's
What do you
post.
say? I love
comment.
me some DC now. What do you
It
say?
said I voted for the president of
Bob,
for
he's
the president
too little.
for some different reasons.
How to work it. Actually, how to work it.
One reason was he grew up a black man in America. The next reason was he was absolutely qualified for the position.
He was.
You don't want the hell?
He was.
Whoa, where you going?
I agree to that.
She's talking about make America great again. Don't you do that.
So you don't agree with that?
Okay. Yeah.
Don't do that. You know
Well,
that.
read this comment. Read this comment.
That's there. That's.
Y'all like my hat?
Yeah.
Yes, sir.
And the spot, everything.
Y'all got to flip it back. No, right there. Wait.
Well, they steady
There you
taking the
go.
screen.
There we go.
Beep.
You got something right here, bro. Go ahead, do your thing. Go ahead, Bob.
He read.
I love you.
Yeah.
This is perfect, man.
I love me
respect
some
that.
DC, so
I
y'all better
respect
not say
that.
nothing crazy.
Vote for DC.
Right. No, I look for him to be like the commissioner or something.
We're gonna have DC on the next.
No,
next-
for real, him and Wesley. I want them to be the mayor and the city commissioner for Eustis, for real. I'm dead serious.
West Coast basketball.
Okay, why can't he do both?
Listen.
Miss Manning did both. She was a 5th grade teacher at Eustis High School 20 years
That's how you
before
get
she
the
ran for
chances
mayor.
of trying to change
She could do.
the
He could do both. Why the hell he can't do
And to have
both?
both of them at the same time.
Yeah, facts. Facts. Wesley for Wesley for mayor
mama say go
and
home.
DC for.
My black mama say I have to go home.
Which one? You want to stay around the corner?
No, that ain't what she said.
No, she say take your ass home.
Who did that?
I gotta go home.
He said his black mom.
But did she cook
He
though?
said his black mom.
Oh, your mama's
Well,
mad?
then she
Hey,
got it
listen,
right.
listen.
You need to get on it.
Everybody
That
that
boy is, you know his mom.
everybody that tuned in, I appreciate y'all. We're gonna try to get together and do this again.
All of.
There's a few other people I want to add to the panel that want to be here. I mean, I know my cousin Anthony Fielders, man. I definitely want him here.
Yes, I do.
I gotta be back because I got
Listen, we wanna
You do got damn
we
moves.
wanna give a shout out to Van Brown, Courtney Likely, Morton Likely.
Come here,
having us at the
Torrance.
spot. Anytime we do this live podcast, man, we do it at the spot. We appreciate them giving out our time, giving it time. 441 Photography. Hey, y'all get your book in. This man doing great things here. Photography. Also, Premier Living Care. If you need assistance, the founder, Miss Marcia Brown, get with her. 1412 North Grandview Street, Mount Dora. Come by here. We got all kind of avenues. We're trying to take this place. Not we. I'm gonna say not we. They're trying to take this place. I appreciate them having me here. I appreciate them letting me use their facilities to sell food, to do the podcast. I want to thank Rashad, definitely, man, for coming on. I want to thank Miss Duncan, Miss Petty, aka Miss Petty.
No, do that.
Very petty.
But hey, man, listen, I'm gonna tell you. Me and a couple other dudes, we have conversations about you all the time. All the time. Man, listen, that's the wrong person to cross there.
Who said that?
Man, what?
Not the person I gave this box to. I know he on that line.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. I'm
Black first. Black first. Black people take care of black people.
Miss Nix,
What that song
Nick,
about the box?
we appreciate your input.
I know he's on that line in the
Hopefully we
group
want to come back
chat.
and do this again. Courtney done start babysitting.
Much as I gave this
Her
good
baby
box to
done got
him,
here.
I know damn well
Her
he
baby-
ain't
Oh,
lying.
I get a picture, y'all.
Courtney's baby got a bill, y'all.
That my little cousin. She mean as hell.
Courtney baby got a bush.
And she mean. My little
She
mean
said leave her
cousin.
alone.
She got a bush.
This is the future, though. This is exactly why we're here. This is exactly why we're here.
Man Brown, I see what you, Brandon, I see what you did. You ran from the camera. But man, I appreciate you, bro. Love you, man. What's up? All right, we're signing off. Y'all stay peachy. I'm gonna continue to get peachy. Y'all know this is all I do.
Trying Keisha was good.
This is all I do. Y'all like the podcast. I love the glasses that my cousin Havana got made for me. Peachy Room Podcast. Excuse me?
Hurry up so I can breathe.
Where you sign off then? This your
Okay, so everybody, you know, I am one dope
You say you want to hide your
chick,
stomach.
but they couldn't fit the word black in here.
You
But
say you
it's
want
the
to
same.
hide your stomach earlier. Now
Okay,
you,
I don't need to hide my stomach.
that's what you
This something
said.
they doing. I'm protecting this good box. You got me fucked
Oh,
up.
God.
Okay,
We
so
gotta get out of here.
okay, it says I am one dope
I
black
gotta let her go out. Go
chick.
ahead.
It was supposed to say I am one dope black chick, but it says I am
Somebody
one
said,
dope chick because the bitch
somebody
that
said,
made it
damn
was
your
white.
forehead good.
And she was
Say,
hating.
damn your forehead
Big
good.
forehead Pooh. Oh, that's that hating ass cousin Pooh. He was a hater.
What's your name?
Yeah, he a hater.
Hey, we love y'all. We love y'all.
Everybody.
Hey, we'll be back next week.
Next week.
Next week,
Same cast.
Greg Britton, D Motto.
Oh, it's gonna be some good dick up in that podcast. I can know that.
Hey,
Yeah, plenty of good dick to go around for everybody. Y'all pull up.
hey.